Hello there. You're listening to the Box Office Show. I'm Ryan Hill, and Dylan Johnson will not be joining us today, but we're still going to talk about the box office numbers from last weekend and the box office predictions for this upcoming weekend, as always. Also, I will be continuing my Anatomy of a Rotted masterpiece alongside Hunter Vance and Edward Finan. The Walking Dead franchise has been lumbering forward for 15 years now, even after most people jumped ship by the end of the final season. And by rewatching and even watching for the very first time some of the highest rated episodes from the back half of The Walking Dead's 11 season run, we look to find out whether or not the zombie masterpiece can defy the odds and actually remain fresh all the way through, or if it did indeed become a corpse of itself. All right, going to jump straight into the box office breakdown for October 17th to the 19th. The Black Phone 2, with 27.3 million, was in fact able to perform better than the original's opening weekend, so that looks great. Black Phone 3 possibly on the horizon as well. Tron Ares, with a nearly 67% drop, 11.1 million in its second weekend. Probably not going to be a sequel for that one. Good Fortune, 6.1 million in its debut. One Battle After Another, 3.8 million, bringing its domestic total to 60 million. Roofman, 3.7 million. Truth and Treason, 2.6 million. Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, 1.7 million. The Conjuring Last Rites, 1.6 million, bringing its domestic total to 175 million. After the Hunt, 1.5 million. At the top 10, Soul on Fire with 1.3 million. This next October weekend has no horror movies for some reason, but quite a slew of movies of a different variety. We have an anime film, Chainsaw Man. We have a Colleen Hoover rom-com, Regretting You, and then a music biopic, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. So an interesting mix there. The anime movie, Chainsaw Man, probably not going to perform as well as Demon Slayer, which had that 70 million opening earlier in the year. But I think it'll definitely be able to get over 15 million. For Regretting You, which again, not quite sure if it's rom-com or just the romance part of it. It Ends With Us, Colleen Hoover's film that came out last year, the adaptation of a Colleen Hoover novel from last year. It made 50 million in its opening, and that had obviously a lot of controversy that followed it. I don't know if this is going to affect Regretting You at all. I don't know the hype with Regretting You, if this is one of her more popular novels or not. It should probably hit double digits, but I don't think it'll be a huge surprise hit like It Ends With Us was. And then for Springsteen, I pulled A Complete Unknown from last year on Bob Dylan. 11.6 million was the opening for that. That one, of course, had Oscar buzz. It was starring Timothée Chalamet. This one is also trying to be in a similar vein, trying to be an Oscar play, Jeremy Allen White in the lead role. Probably not going to do as well, though, I would imagine. So maybe it hits double digits. I think it'll probably fall below that. Should be able to get over 5 million, 6 million, but definitely not going to take the crown for the weekend. But with that, we will head over to Past Me and Hunter and Edward as we do batch 3 and batch 4 of our Walking Dead watch through. So this will cover episodes within season 6 through the end of the show, including the series finale of The Walking Dead. Enjoy. Or as Negan would say, back to it. right, we're back. The third batch, season 6, No Way Out. Season 7, the premiere. The day will come when you won't be. Season 8, the finale, Wrath. And then season 9, episode 5, What Comes After. That was our batch. A whole massive slew of episodes in there. Like, we definitely have the biggest gap so far. Like
I missed so much.
Season 7 premiere. Season 8 finale is like 30 episodes straight up. So it's all out war. You know, you missed that entire arc basically, but you saw the beginning and the end.
I had a lot of questions and I wrote them all down. So
okay, then we'll go through. We'll hope to answer them one by one. But we'll start out with season 6, the mid-season premiere, No Way Out, season 6, episode 9, where Alexandria has been overrun by zombies, and then we have to watch our folks cut their way out, take down all those zombies to do it. So, Edward, your thoughts on this episode?
Pretty badass. I the first thing I wrote from that episode is, oh my god, Glenn almost died again.
It's crazy. I was like, I don't remember it being like pretty much every episode, but it's just the way it worked out with every episode we picked here to do for this podcast.
He's
he
literally
dies. Like, he's on the verge of death.
He's literally Kenny from South Park. Like,
just and you didn't even see, there is, which I debated like showing you or not, but there's an episode earlier in the season where they make you think he did actually die. You're like, no, this time they got him. He's dead.
Is it
and
the
he disappears.
One where
it's the
dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So yeah, for like 2 episodes, you're just meant to believe that he was dead.
Yeah.
He's just
I remember a lot of people being mad about that. I remember, like, through the grapevine of pop culture, I remember seeing Glenn die and everyone like going crazy over it. And
I was the one that was crazy.
You were one of those people. Yeah. And then I saw that he came back and I was like, oh, cool. We'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, the editing in this one, I noticed like a lot, like it was a step up, like with just like certain, like not flashback, but like cuts, like just to like random stuff like that relate to it. I was just blown away by that. It's also in the next episode we watched too. The editing was just fantastic. And yeah, this was the episode. What this was the episode where Morgan and Carol are not in it, right? Or is that
would be the following episode.
The next one.
Carol and Morgan were in this one, and I was wondering again like how that would play to you, because we come in
again
in the middle of like what happened. They're waking up because they were knocked out. You're supposed to see the wolf guy who we did see in Conquer and the season 5 finale.
He turns,
he was here, and now he has Denise captive, and they're trying to like escape. But clearly you can see Morgan, as you remember, had his pacifism kick, so he was like, we shouldn't kill anyone. And Carol, as you saw from the last batch, has turned into a cold-blooded killer. She's like, we will do what we need to do. So she obviously wanted him dead. But that conversation was crazy. I did not remember. Hunter, do you remember that? Where Carol's like, I should have killed you. Like, I should have taken you out, Morgan. I'm like, oh my God. Like, she was ruthless.
Yeah, I didn't remember that at all. Obviously, the big thing I remember is, Carl taking a bullet once again.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Seeing that was, I remember him, like, I also remember in pop culture, I remember him getting shot. I didn't remember the significance or if that was how he died or whatever. And I'll ask questions about that after, because I missed a lot of that plot.
You did miss.
But I remember at the beginning of this episode where they're like held captive, Daryl, Carol, and who else?
It was Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. And Daryl just absolutely obliterates the guy behind the truck and just kills everything. That was pretty
RPG bazooka.
RPG, yeah. And then the RPG at the end was just crazy. The explosions in this batch was a step up, especially like when we get to the bridge. Like that sequence is insane. But yeah, no, Daryl again, just like proving me wrong. Not proving me wrong, because I never doubted him. But yeah, he's just straight up badass. Because like I said, it's hard. I don't really know much of his like actual backstory or anything like that. Like I haven't these episodes that we've shown haven't really given me any plot to what he is, but all I see is that he's an absolute menace.
Yeah.
So that's all I get from it. I don't know if there's any more context that's needed, but I really enjoy him.
Yeah. So this episode, obviously, the big highlight, the standout is Carl getting shot. That whole, takedown of uh, Jesse and her family, the kid Sam getting eaten. So
Yeah.
all of that is like the big, memorable part of it. So what'd you think of that, Edward? Obviously, you knew like something of Carl getting shot, but even just
Yeah.
seeing it still, like,
Yeah, it
it
was pretty
looks
brutal.
so gnarly. Just
I
It
didn't.
does,
Yeah,
yeah.
the good thing about it is I didn't really care about anyone except for like the main people that have been in the season or been in the last couple seasons. So the guy
yeah,
that shot him, no idea who he is.
Annoying family. It
Annoying
was it was like
family.
a it was like a cheer
That
happy
was what I
moment. Like
picked. That
yay,
was what I picked up.
except for Jessie. She's cool, but
yeah.
her sons I always found them annoying.
He's in like a Netflix show that I've seen. I think it was like a Christmas show that I enjoyed. I forget what it was called, but
What? Okay.
yeah.
Is it Sabrina Carpenter's A Nonsense Christmas?
Unfortunately not, no. Yeah, so I didn't really know any of them, and I was like just waiting for something to happen, and then that happened, and then Rick just goes off and just says, "All right, well, I need to go blow off some steam," and
Yeah.
then goes
By
off
just
and does all
murking all
that stuff.
these
And
walkers. Yeah.
and then the doctor, I don't know who that is, but she was like being escorted by
Denise.
the wolf guy, and
Yes.
then a Carol kills the wolf guy, and she just like I guess didn't have any tie because she doesn't like care at all.
Dude, any bad person, she's just
Yeah, she's great. But so yeah, and then everyone goes out to help Rick. I thought that
Which
was pretty cool.
was
Just like as a
great.
team, huh?
Yeah. Because they were inspiring everyone else that was like holed up in the houses, and then they're like, oh, they're fighting back. Let's get
Yeah.
out there and help them.
Yeah, and then I think it's at the end of the episode when Rick talks to Carl and says
Yeah.
like I kind of doubted everyone, and like
Mhm.
I was like they all like I trust them now. Like this is
Yeah.
a good group,
Which is
But
great.
then you
It's
have
a
this like
great.
Negan over him because like obviously like I knew the name because he's very popular, but I knew the name, so I was like, oh, this is where this is going. So they're gonna get taken over by in Alexandria by them, and then all that stuff is gonna happen. So I kind of was like, it's a false sense of hope.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's a great companion piece to what we saw in Conquer, the most recent episode from season 5, because Rick's whole deal, like his whole speech, even at the end of that, was like, y'all don't know how to survive, but I'm going to teach you how. You're going to change. And then all of like the first half of season 6 is them showing that they will not be able to change. Like they mess up over and over. They
Okay. So this
get
is like a
themselves
pivotal
killed. They get
moment.
other people killed. That's how Glenn,
Yeah.
fake dies.
Yeah.
But then here is when, for the first time, it's also a major turning point in like all of the show, is that their community gets overrun. This happened at the farm. It happened at their camp in Atlanta. It happened in the prison, and they always had to flee and run. But this is the first time they were able to fight back and like take control of their community again from the horde that came through. So like it's a great turning point for Rick to believe in Alexandria, the community members there, that they are going to be able to survive, and it was them finally like holding up in a spot like we can't lose this again. We have to fight back no matter what it takes. So I loved that. And then 2 other takeaways from this episode: Glenn, when he was talking with Enid, that girl that he was with in the church. I just love Glenn. Again, you just see like why he's such a like bright spot in the group. Always like this beacon of hope and the moral compass. And then he obviously name drops a few of the people that have impacted him, like Dale and Herschel and Andrea and Tyrese. So it was great to like see that he's trying to honor them always in what he does. And then obviously he goes out and saves Maggie and was willing to die right there unless Abraham showed up at the end. So
like jokes around. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Abraham's great. Again, I love that dude.
Yeah.
And then the other takeaway it was interesting that you pointed out that you liked some of the editing choices in this. Some of it, like early on, when I thought we were like between the Wolf and Denise, and then going back to like Glenn and Enid, I thought that was a little, I don't know, just a poor attempt to be like, I don't know that either of these conversations can stand on their own, so we're just gonna like cut between them.
Oh
even
yeah,
though there's no real
I
like
remember that.
tie
That
between them. So I
yeah,
was
that
like,
might not be what I'm talking about. It's more of like the stylish stuff that they did. I thought was really interesting.
when they started
And it
doing
like
the like the Arkham game death screen stuff with all the characters swinging at a zombie or whatever. I like that stuff for sure.
No, that
great.
was beautiful. That was I loved all that. Like the boom boom boom. It was just like flash cuts. I love that.
But yeah. Any takeaways that you want to throw out there, Hunter?
Just a classic, man. I mean, you guys kind of put the nail on the head, or axe on the head, I should say.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rick and his axe.
Yeah,
A lot of...
him and that damn axe. Yeah.
But yeah, this episode is technically the highest rated on IMDb. There's a few that are tied with it. It's like a 9.6. So technically, this would be like the number one episode of the whole show.
Well, I don't agree with
Is that the case for y'all? Doesn't seem
I
like
don't agree.
No, I do not. Good episode, but
yeah,
no.
Some would say great, but it's not. It's not the best.
Some may say fantastic.
So let's talk about another major episode, season 7. The day will come when you won't be, which is, of course, is a callback to what Dr. Jenner said to Rick in the CDC when Rick was like, thanks for giving us a chance to get out there. And he was like, well, the day will come when you won't be. And this is that day. This is the day of Negan's lineup. Got, what was it? Like
awaited wait from the season 6 finale to the season 7 premiere.
Oh, yeah.
This was like a big cultural event.
It sure was. I don't even remember. Did you know like the spoilers going in, Hunter? Like, did you know?
I didn't know. I didn't know any of the spoilers going in. But I do remember watching like YouTube videos analyzing, because what you didn't see in the season 6 finale, Edward, is that he does do like the eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then he whacks the cameraman in like a first person POV. And then there's like blood trickling down on the screen.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah, so you don't know who it is, but you know someone gets whacked. And so I remember watching YouTube videos of like people analyzing who could it be in the line and
like where he was standing, where the cars were in the back.
Did they get it right?
It was really funny. Well, they didn't know. I'm sure they didn't know who they were killing off yet.
Right. Yeah,
so they just did that.
Yeah, I knew who died in the comics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But after I watched the episode,
I knew that information. I can't remember honestly whether or not I knew for sure, like if I knew any of the spoilers. But I know that was like there's definitely chatter about who was going to be and everything. Yeah, so I can't remember what I knew going into it, but I've always remembered what I felt watching that episode, which is just exactly what you're supposed to feel, and what the characters feel, which is just you're emotionally wrecked, like you're just hollowed out, you're destroyed, because it's just brutal. It's just a nonstop. Like our characters at the lowest point, like being thrusted to rock bottom. Yeah. So I really love this episode. And and we'll talk a little bit about like how season 7 and 8 went for the rest of it. But like this episode, I think was perfectly done. And there's a whole lot of hoopla of like the cliffhanger from season 6. And then, you know, did it live up to the hype once they finally did it and all that? Again, I think this episode, when you take it on its own, is executed so perfectly. I think Negan is so hateable in this, but also very entertaining. And so you get that, like, he's fun to watch. Like, it's interesting to watch him.
Want him on the screen.
Like, you love to hate
him in this. Like, you despise him for what he's doing because he's so ruthless, goes so hard in smashing the bats against, like, the long dead corpses already of Abraham and Glenn. So
his dialogue is just insane in this. Like the way he says things, you're like, God, you're such a piece of shit. Like, what?
Exactly.
Best villain so far. I mean, I would say that's probably.
You would say that now.
Oh, really?
You would say that now.
Why do you say that?
He gets too comedic and jokey and annoying
Oh, okay.
as season 7 and 8 go on. In my
Oh,
opinion.
okay. Yeah, I noticed in the next episode we're going to talk about, and I think it's the last episode that we talk
Last
about.
episode of season 8.
He's
Is
really
next
just
one.
like what, like totally gone, like not the same character. It doesn't seem, but still, like this episode specifically, just like yeah, he's
Mhm.
unbelievable in it, and you know the road they take, the how he takes him out and just sends him off to the walkers, and then
Get
he's
my
like
ex.
hanging off of the walker,
Yeah.
and like and all the flashbacks where he's like thinking that he killed all of them, and like thinking of him killing Daryl, killing all of like crazy sequence where he's
Mhm.
just like not reminiscing, but like thinking
You know.
about all these things possible that are horrible that happened to the group. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. And like you said, just like existential dread. Like it was like an episode where you just wanted to crawl up into a ball and just like, because you feel like Rick, where you're like, no, he's gonna something's gonna happen. He's gonna break out.
He finds a
No,
way always.
it's just, and then
Yeah.
he like making it the car. Oh my god, the arm. Oh my
Yes. You think it's over, and it's not.
god.
Which
Just
yeah,
more.
I think is beautiful. Like because in the comics it's Glenn,
Yes.
and he gets taken out. And this one, because they knew they did that long wait, they did a twofer, which again I think is just like a genius choice because you get Abraham killed, which sucks. Again, he's been around for seasons at this point. He was one of my
I will
favorites.
say,
What's up?
I did know before going into the season premiere when I first watched it that Abraham was in the comics. He died a lot sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by this point, because again, Carol is completely different than comics. Daryl doesn't exist. By this point, it's like most. I don't know that anyone had the same comic death like Glenn here, but then compared to everything else, because Dale died a whole different way. Everyone dies different ways. At this point in the comics, Rick doesn't have a hand. Like they didn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's been like entirely different. So that didn't matter too much, but everyone was like, okay, is Glenn going to go out the same iconic way or not? And then Abraham dies. And so that can give some people assurance, like, okay, it was Abraham, but that'll be it. And then Daryl goes for the punch. And then Negan's thing is just so vicious where he's like, well, back to it. And then just
that's still replays in my head sometimes, just the back to it. Just, oh god.
That one in the no exceptions. Like I did say, I'm like, God, again, he's so quotable. Like he is really, really an entertaining character. But in this episode, especially, he's just relishing in the like pure misery he's causing to these people. It's so brutal. But yeah,
and
Glenn,
Trevor from GTA is in it.
He is Simon.
He is.
I saw like probably 2 shots of him, but
yeah.
I hope he's good in this because I think he's a fantastic actor as well.
He is good.
He is good.
The episode in season 8 that is actually the highest rated is like a Simon based episode. It's one where he dies. But I was like, ultimately, I think it's better to just, have the beginning and end of this whole Negan arc. So, but yeah, again, I love the construction of this episode. I think Andrew Lincoln's performance is incredible.
Dude, the snot bubble.
Exactly, like the snot bubble.
No, his acting is crazy.
And then the way that. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, I also, as much as, Rick is tortured in this scene, like mentally, physically, all the above, I'm going to have to give most traumatic right now to Maggie.
Yes, I would say so.
Watching Glenn die.
And she's pregnant.
Yes, she is.
This whole thing, you don't get this context. The whole reason they were out there was for Maggie. They were trying to transport her to the hilltop.
I heard about that. I didn't know like why they were out there, and because Maggie, like after they end up leaving, like she's like, I'm gonna walk back or whatever. I was like, I don't know why, but like, cool. Got it. Okay, that makes it even worse. Yeah, no. That's just adding to she's the most trauma ridden.
Yeah.
Just brutal, man. I can't believe. I still blows my mind that they were able to get that gory a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is something I wanted to. I forgot to bring up. I believe I don't know if I actually did bring it up in the last batch, but One thing I have noticed from each batch is the show is getting gorier and gorier.
Yeah, no doubt.
Take that as you will, but
Hmm.
that is one thing I've noticed.
It's a budgetary thing, I assume.
It
But
could, yeah, maybe it's a
yeah,
budgetary thing.
and
Remember, I don't
yeah,
know.
and even the zombies look really, really good. Like
Mhm.
they have gotten progressively better as well.
Yeah, they definitely. That's the one thing that I will credit them with, is they have done a great job with that, like, makeup budget. But even in an episode we'll talk about in this batch, like, there's just other things like green screen that they
Oh
do that's
boy,
just
the
atrocious.
green screen.
Oh yeah,
And, and then
And
I assume you know about a CGI deer,
I was going to
Ryan.
bring that up. Yeah, the
Yeah.
famous deer that looks terrible. Apparently, a real deer. They just sucked it, like, doing the composite. So that's even wild. Like,
Oh my
more
god,
wild that they had a
that
real
is
deer.
wild.
They just screwed up, like, putting it into the shot.
is that in
Um,
season 7 or is that in 8?
I think 8.
I don't know, but it was around this time.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, it's just stuff like that, which is like, what are we doing? This is the biggest show on television at that point, and they're not able to, like, go on location for some of these shots, or just get green screen that is worthwhile and, like, light
Yes.
it properly.
And
So
and then the green screen of like the horde in a quarry, or CGI of just that quarry. I don't know if you
yeah,
remember that, but that as well was also really bad.
for sure. So they always had the money for the makeup, at least, and the
Yeah.
zombies do look good. They had a great department for that. But yeah, love this episode. Love the trials they put Rick through, and to have Negan break him so that we can believe, like, okay, Rick, the man we saw bite out a man's neck and do all this other stuff, murder jacket Rick, like, he's not gonna be able to overcome this one just yet.
No.
But he does. Sure enough, he bounces back, and they plan to rally together, Alexandria and the other communities, to fight off Negan and the Saviors. And the end of that war is what we see in the episode Wrath, season 8, episode 16. And we start off with Rick, like, being in a bedroom with Judith, who's a little bit more grown up. And then this random dude that you do not know comes in. And then Rick goes, "How'd it happen?" And then, as you see from the rest of the conversation, you find out Carl's dead. So what do you think of that?
Yeah. I'll start off by saying that the whiplash from these two episodes was
I bet.
deadly in my opinion. Like in every way, like mostly because of the context, but also because of the quality. Just because this is, I've saw that this was the season finale, and at the end of the episode, I was like, this is not as that was not as good as as the other finales that we've seen. Like all the finales, and
Yeah.
especially the start of the seasons, are usually like the best episodes. And yeah, there was that with like realizing Carl was dead. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. That was something I missed. And
True. Did you know Carl died? Was that
I
another
knew
thing from, like,
Carl died
cultural
eventually.
osmosis? Okay.
I definitely thought it was a lot earlier. I still have no idea how.
He gets bit.
But the
Right?
editing in this one
Yeah, he
is really
does. But
bad.
this guy explains it. He kind of explained, like, what happened. All you need to know,
Yeah.
he,
A little
like,
bit.
he was
Yeah.
helping people and got bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, my question literally is I wrote editing in the third one is ass. Gabriel is annoying as fuck. And
Yes.
where is Carl?
I'm trying. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. But a reason why Carl died was because his actor, they had like contract issues or something, or isn't that
I
what
don't
it
know.
was?
It's never really been confirmed, and I don't know that they ever will. But yeah, there's some hoopla, like the actor bought a house near where they film in Atlanta because he thought he was going to be on the show for a few more years, and then he found out he had been killed off. It doesn't make sense that, like, because he's turning 18 and therefore would be paid more, that they would, like, cut him out, because by this point they had a bunch of different characters on the show. It's like, I don't think that would be the financial issue. It's like paying this one minor who's now becoming, like, an adult actor. Like, you have all these other adults on the show.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was
Right.
a financial reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly it was. Other people were saying there's, like, some theory around that, like, they just needed to find some way to have Rick not kill Negan, but they didn't know what character would do that, because by this point, Morgan, which I'm curious ever to see your thoughts on that. By this point, Morgan went from his pacifist to, serial killer Loki. Of he's just popping everyone with his pole. So it couldn't be Morgan. Like Morgan no longer is the ideal of like, we need peace. So they made that Carl, even though Carl was also never the like, we need peace. He just like randomly was like, actually, we can all be friends. So I don't know. I just think it was sloppy writing, and maybe they were like, there had been slipping ratings from season 7 going into 8, and they're like, we need something to grab people and bring them back. And so I don't know. We don't know exactly what the reason was, but yeah, they went for it. They killed Carl in the mid-season finale of season 8. So yeah, I'm out.
I think when you say like lazy writing, I also think that pertains to a lot more in that episode, because like there's a lot of callbacks, but like it's not very subtle at all. Like there's a conversation between Morgan and Rick, and Morgan is basically like, we're not the same we were. I'm like, yeah, no shit. And like, yeah, you've shown us that. Like, you don't need to say that. You know what I mean? And they have this like conversation with that. I was just like, okay, there's a couple other things I forget exact points, but where it's just, I was just like, okay, cool. The actual final battle was pretty cool. It wasn't the worst. I think it was pretty decent.
I thought because my issue like at this portion of the show is the action is just atrocious. Like it's actually
it's not
and it was then like it's like LARPers in a field. Like these people are just LARPing around doing whatever. It's like there's no strategy. It's just a bunch of people and they're randomly shooting at other people on the other side of the hill.
Trying to shoot. Shout out Eugene.
Yeah, Eugene came through. He got redeemed very hard. But Gabriel did not. He should have died. Negan should have popped him. I wish that one gun would have worked.
That was also I also didn't understand that.
He's blind, by the way.
I knew that. I saw that and I was like, oh, okay. But also, why did that other guy change to be with him? Like,
I wrote down. Right? I said a lot of out of context stuff that Edward's not going to understand, like with Dwight, Gabriel's eye, Oceanside, the junkyard, even the kingdom. I was like, there's just so much here that's
there's a lot.
I don't know.
But it's a lot of like, it felt filler. Like it felt like it wasn't really needed like it wasn't necessary. Like even though I didn't get that context, I still think it was lackluster, even if I had the context. And just it was like, okay, it was fine.
Yeah,
it was serviceable.
Yeah, I will say one thing you did miss. That's a pretty epic moment from like in between this gap. You missed Eugene biting off a guy's nuts. Is it White that he bites? Just goes to his balls.
Does he? I don't remember that.
You don't remember
I have
that?
No idea. No.
What?
That's wild.
Dude, it's in the middle of the road, and they're all just like on their knees, and Dwight's behind him, and Eugene just turns around and just chomps away.
That's crazy, dude. Poor Dwight. He gets wrecked up. His face is all destroyed. His nuts all iron. The other thing too with this episode that like out of context stuff, because you see Morgan's like crashing out, hallucinating early on. I thought it would be really funny if they didn't have him in that scene with Maggie at the end. Jesus, the guy that looks like Jesus.
Oh yeah.
And they kept saying it. Oh my God!
Can we make Edward think that was just a hallucination of Jesus Christ? Like it's not a real character. Morgan's just hallucinating Jesus.
There's no way. Because I was like, wait, is this a real person? He kind of looks like Jesus.
That is his name.
So there was like probably a 10 or 15 second moment where I was like, wait, is this a real person? And 2, is that Jesus Christ?
So yeah, I thought that would have been
Jesus like 3 or 4 times unironically. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. And he's like, bottom for the dead, top for the living.
Yeah.
With his pole.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. Because again, the whole Morgan thing on paper like could have been very compelling, but just the way it was executed throughout that whole season, and then even the way it wraps up here at the end of the episode where it's like Jesus of all people is the one that gets through. Like this random dude that Morgan doesn't even know, like not Rick, not even Carol, who he has this whole, all of like season 7 and 8, they're butting heads and everything. It's like, and throughout season 6, it's like they don't get through to him, but Jesus goes like, there could be a better way. Meanwhile, half our team is just shooting all the other people right here, but you saved this one guy. You decided not to kill that one dude. I'm like, come on. It's just
really, really poor.
And then Rick and Negan, their little showdown. What do you think of that?
Their 1 second showdown.
Good on Rick's part. Like, I think overall it was fine, but like the context and stuff, it was just like everyone like was like, we want to kill him. We want to kill him. Maggie's like, I want to kill him. And he's like, no, that's not the way. I'm like, okay, well,
I'm not gonna do that anymore.
Yeah.
I did like Rick's speech. I liked his.
It's good.
He was telling everyone, he was like, "It's done. Like we're gonna create a new world." Like that whole thread of the new world through these episodes, I think, is good. Like it makes sense because again, the whole point of Rick doing any of this was for Carl to give him a new world. Mm-hmm. And then in Carl's death, Carl like asks him, "Find peace. Like find a way to make peace with Negan. You don't have to kill him."
He writes a letter. Isn't it for the letter to Negan? Am I mistaken?
No, he does a letter for everyone. Right? I think he wrote a letter to Negan as well.
That's
they get to him. Which is a cool aspect of like season 7 and 8. Yeah. Negan and Carl have a good relationship. Like Carl sneaks into the sanctuary, which is where Negan stays, and then they have a whole like episode together and everything. So they had a good companionship.
You see it in the finale when he starts talking about Carl and Negan's actually tearing up a bit.
Yeah. And that the episode when Rick like told Negan was pretty good too, because Negan's like actually like, oh, that sucks, that's terrible, and then it turns around to him being like, you're the reason your boy got killed. And then
it was very Shane coded in my opinion. Very Shane coded. The way he was talking, I was like, oh, this. And then the next episode, we get something like that, but it was very similar to what Shane was saying, where he's like, your boy is weak and like you are responsible for it. And I was like, oh, that's what Shane was talking about.
There you go. But I also think it's good the way if they had to kill Carl off, like the way they did it, it wasn't in the war. It was him just going out and helping some dude. I thought was
it satisfying? I obviously have no idea.
No, but it was very sad.
I was gonna say it wasn't. He ends up, doesn't he like end up dying in a tunnel or something?
He does. Well, yeah, there's this whole, because Alexandria gets like almost destroyed again. And then
always
Rick and Michonne like end up there in the tunnel. Carl like led everyone there to save him. And then Carl reveals that he got bit. And again, it's like Andrew Lincoln is an insanely incredible actor. So just his like realizing his son is bit and like toast because he got bit on like the torso. So it's like he's done. So yeah, that part was very sad. Them saying goodbye was very sad. Like Michonne as well, her farewell to Carl, because they had also got real close ever since season 4, like post prison. So yeah, all that was effective. It's just a shame because I don't know. I feel like it was a wasted opportunity ultimately. What's up, Hunter?
Yes. So another question, or not question, but something I want to bring up that you'd be, I guess, a little surprised about with Edward. Not necessarily as much, and we'll get into why you may not be surprised. Michonne and Rick, they are together. We see that in the finale.
Yeah, I did not catch that like at all. They were like together for a little bit, but like I had known that. Like me and Hunter went to Barnes and Noble probably a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And I had known it for a little bit, and I was like, oh, and then like I saw The Walking Dead, like one of the like Blu-rays, and I saw them on the same thing. I was like, oh, they're probably together. And then I was like, okay. And then I saw this episode. I was like, oh, is it this early? Like, I guess not really this early. I mean, I guess it's almost finished, but
it was the episode right after No Way Out, the season 6 episode. That's when they hook up. That's when they get together. But it had been a thing. You can even see like in No Way Out, even in like
they're partners.
Season 5, like the season 5 stuff as well. You can see that they were like always a unit. they're the constables in
Yeah.
Alexandria for a while. So yeah, they were pretty tight knit, but they finally like fully realized it in season 6. But yeah, and I kind of like them. I think there's sometimes the chemistry could be better there, but I do like them. I think they're cool together.
Yeah.
But yeah, so season 8 finale, you're not the biggest fan of it. Wasn't the biggest winner.
Nope.
No, not at all.
I remember being very, very upset that
This was when you stopped watching, right, Hunter?
This was
it. Wow.
This was it, because I'm like, wow, we spent 2 seasons and they're not even gonna kill Negan, and they're just gonna tease
You
me
were
with a
Maggie. You
slit
wanted
throat.
Negan dead.
I was Maggie. I really was, because I'm just like, dude, are
You
you
didn't
fucking kidding
believe
me?
in Carl's vision for a new world where
No, because even then I'm just like, that's how you kill off Carl. That's
old
what
man
was
Negan
disappointing.
could be farming and Judith walks up and is like,
Yeah, I'm just that ticked me off. I'm just like, all right, and this is
Wow.
and I was also like, in general, this episode's kind of ass. I don't know, it's running
Yeah,
its
yeah.
course.
You can
What
see
more
the,
can they do?
yeah, just the like episode quality itself was definitely a dramatic downturn here. And then season 9, they got new blood for a showrunner. And then we also had learned about some departures of the cast, including our main man, Andrew Lincoln.
He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, he was like, I want to spend time with my family, so I'm going to quit the show. So everyone was wondering, what are they going to do? Are they going to kill him off? Are they going to write him out somehow? What is it going to be? And this was the episode 5, where we got the answers to that. So I was locked in on season 9 to figure out what was going on with Rick. I wanted to know how they were going to do it. And then this episode, the previous episode, we saw him get stuck on the rebar. And so we knew he was gone one way or another after this next episode. But would he die, or would he find a way out? So yeah, this episode, the farewell to Rick in the main show, Edward and Hunter, since this is your first time watching it. But Hunter, what did you know about it? Like, you knew...
Oh, I knew he gets
means
thrown
by
off
which
a
he got
horse.
out and everything.
Yeah, and I knew a helicopter. I literally knew all the main beats.
But you didn't want to watch this episode, even when you like heard of it. You're like, oh, this is the farewell for Rick episode.
No,
you
because
didn't want to watch it. What if
I didn't want to
died?
watch it because I felt like I would have to watch the rest of season 9 leading up to it, and I was just so done with the show, where I was just like,
dang, that's crazy.
No, I'm good. And it was crazy because there was like so many things that I like going into season 9 that I feel like I would have liked. Like, I've heard about the whispers in the comics and everything. I'm like, dude, I think that's so dope. I really want to see that. Yeah. But then I just think back, oh, but Negan's alive. What the fuck? I don't care.
That's crazy. Okay, so let me ask you then, Hunter, since this was your first time seeing it as well.
Yes.
And the big part of the episode is Rick, but the other part is Maggie finally trying to do her confrontation with Negan.
Yes.
So what'd you think?
That was new to me. I liked it. I liked it.
Nice.
I was like, fuck. I should have watched this.
Oh man. Well, that's good. That's a good answer. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Edward, what about you?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought their reunion, or not reunion, but their conversation was cool. I wasn't like, I didn't know that, if being fully honest, I did not know that was the last we saw of Rick. So that's news to me. I obviously now I can kind of connect it with the whole helicopter stuff. I think the helicopter stuff is really stupid, but it's
I agree.
Whatever. It's whatever. I thought the bridge scene was really insane. Although I didn't really know, I was like, wait a minute, they're standing and watching all of this happen from the side. Can't he just walk over there and then he'll be with Daryl? Boom, done. And then this helicopter comes up and this.
Well, the issue was the horde was heading towards the hilltop, like the community. So that's why he was trying to lead them away.
I figured he was trying to like lead them away or like break the bridge that would.
And then he led them to the bridge, which you guys missed the context. But his whole thing is they're trying to build that bridge literally as a way to connect the communities.
Right.
And
okay.
Some people don't want the bridge, but they're all the communities, including the saviors, are contributing to the building of the bridge. So Rick is like adamant. He's like, we need this bridge. So him trying to go to the bridge to break it, to drown the horde, was like a major thing because he was sacrificing his whole like we can
Right.
be a community, we can come together.
Right,
So-
right. I thought all. I mean, and this is coming from someone that hasn't watched the show. Obviously, all of this context is I haven't watched the show, but I thought all of like the flashback scenes, like especially the one with Bernthal,
Guys,
I thought that was good, but it was kind of corny. It was a
Oh
little
my
corny.
god.
was it corny? Sure, but was it awesome? Yes. Because again,
I
you saw
figured that-
Bernthal, less than 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
But
you're right.
for us, like that was watching it, this
Yeah,
came
that's
out
what I'm saying.
2018.
Like,
Shane was
yeah,
gone by
it
like
had been
2011,
so
12.
long.
So
Yeah,
it was great seeing him come back. And I love again, just having Herschel come back, John Bernthal come back, and then Sasha, who you correctly predicted did in fact die. So she came back
I
as
will say,
well.
I found that a little odd watching this for the first time. I'm like, out of
It was odd.
they
I
got
would say
Sasha?
Carl or Glenn would have been the obvious one to bring back, but Steven Yeun career took off. So I'm sure he's doing something crazy. And then with Carl, I don't know what the deal was there. Maybe they didn't want to, have the whole I found my family with like Michonne and the other people there, that they didn't want to confuse that too much. I don't know. That felt like it would have been the obvious choice, but Sasha died in a sacrifice, and so her whole speech was about like we're sacrificing, like not any one of us are important. It's all about like the community paying it forward, basically, of a sacrifice. So I guess that makes sense. But Carl like also kind of sacrificed himself, like he was helping someone.
No.
So, I don't know. That would have been cool, but
It also looked bad.
yeah, it looked really bad.
that
It looked
again the green screen there, the green screen when they were looking out at the farm with Herschel,
and even in the cop car too.
Yeah,
In general,
it looked pretty rough.
yeah.
However, again, seeing Bernthal there, that conversation was great. Also, him like screaming "wake up" at him, and then we cut to the zombie coming out his face. Beautiful, 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Herschel was great as well because like the actual actor died shortly after that, so it was like the last time we saw Scott Wilson, the actor, and that was just beautiful. Again, their whole connection, even the way Rick says it in there of like, maybe we should listen more, like what you wanted for me, what you wanted for all of us. Like it shows the impact Herschel had, which I think is beautiful. And so I love those flashbacks. I thought that was a great way to tie in, the history. And I love the fake out with Michonne and Daryl and everyone running in to save him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, "But this isn't real." And she's like, "No, it is. Wake up. Like, we are real. Your family's real. You need to like get up and finish this." And then the bridge holds, which was a great little wrinkle in the whole thing as well. And then finally they do show up and save Rick. And then he has to blow up the bridge using that Magnum one final time.
Yeah.
So
I think as a not like, I don't think I would consider myself a fan just because I haven't seen the whole show, but I think as a fan, it was probably a very, very, very good episode just because you got to see all these people one last time, specifically Rick and the people that had died. I thought that was cool. But like we said, like there were some technical problems, no doubt, just with the scenes but the writing was pretty good. And I thought that like I really liked the fake out because I was like, oh shit, they're here, and then oh no, they're not here. Oh wait, shit, they're here. Like, it was a funny little bit. But I the biggest thing with this is it kind of reminded me. I've seen Grey's Anatomy, and Grey's Anatomy did something very similar to this, where they brought.
Where are we going with this?
It's just I'm just connecting it to the flashbacks, but like I remember seeing. I remember like in Grey's they did where all the characters that died, they were like on this beach, and they're like every time a character almost dies they go to this beach and they see everyone, and that was kind of reminded me of this. I was like, oh wow, that's kind of corny. But I'm sure as a longtime fan, especially if you've been watching this for 10 years, it's like this hits like so hard, like crack.
And Hunter did it. Seeing
did.
Bernthal, there we
Seeing
go. That's
Bernthal
what
in
we need.
Marshall,
That's
I
what we
was
need.
like,
Bernthal good.
I was like,
Bernthal's always good. If he's
Bernthal.
on the screen, I don't care. Like I don't care. Also, did they change the intro? I thought that was interesting.
They
They
did.
did.
This was the
Yeah.
first time they changed intro. Yeah, I didn't like it. No. Original intro.
Yeah, they did it like entirely graphics instead of
Like
like
stop
real shots and
motion.
everything. So
Right.
Stuff, yeah.
yeah, I had forgotten about that. I was like, oh, because again, I only watched season 9. I didn't continue with the rest of it. I assume
Right.
this new one is what they continue with for 10 and 11. But
Right.
yeah,
And I also have like a big overarching question because I know this is where you left after this season. I always have been wondering when they filmed these, do we think that any other union shoot had extras? Because Jesus Christ, they have so many extras
that's
all
the
the
thing.
time.
Like they did so well. Like that shot of Rick like coming towards the camera on the horse, and then you see all the zombies behind. I was like, that's insane. Like that looks like all real people. That's
Yeah,
insane that they got
yeah,
that
and
many
I
extras, put them all in makeup,
yeah,
and coordinated them and everything. But that looked incredible. And then it's like you see, those CGI shots later on and the green
Yeah.
screen, and it's like, oh, come on. Like,
yeah. But even I
needed
think
all of it.
some of it wasn't. I think some of it was real. Like some of the ones that like Rick is stepping over, I think are real. But then like I think they probably just
Yeah, a
extended
few of them
it.
are because they're like
Yeah.
actors, like the actual characters. You see like Daryl in there and Rosita and
Right.
everything. But yeah, obviously at a certain point it's not real. So
Yeah.
yeah, that one didn't look too good. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a great send off for Rick. And then I
Yes.
thought the whole Maggie thing was great. Like Michonne is trying to warn her off of it, but ultimately it's like she's got to figure this out for herself. Everything Maggie said, was also sensible. Like they both were making very valid points. And then she ultimately decides to leave Negan alive since he's already in all this pain anyway. So she's like, okay, like you got your punishment. You're worse than dead. We're good. And
Yep.
then,
Because then he wants to see his wife.
yeah,
But
spoiler
no.
alert, they are not good. That is not gonna remain. She's not gonna be chill with that forever. So, but I thought, yeah, it was just a nice way to close the loop there. The whole thing with Jadis, that was her name, the one that was like calling the helicopter and everything.
Junkyard Girl.
Yeah. Again, that was a little silly. But
Yeah.
it'd been established in previous things that she has some like organization that has helicopters and have a lot of funding and whatnot. So like it had been established, but I don't know if they answered this question or not, like how no one heard the helicopter.
Yeah.
Again, spoilers for like the rest of the thing, but no character is able to move on. They're all like, Rick's still alive, I know it. But they never, I think, bring up like, yeah, there's a helicopter. We heard a helicopter. We should probably try and find where that helicopter came from.
Yeah. And especially like in an apocalypse where there's nothing flying in the air.
Yeah.
Like, no
There's
aircraft
nothing
or
louder
anything,
than a helicopter.
you
Exactly.
know? So I feel like you just hear like you're like, what the hell?
Exactly. So I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I remember I'd be like, that would be the first like obvious thing, I think. But maybe
Well,
not.
because spoiler isn't. I mean, we know that Rick is still alive, and then he comes back for a spinoff or something, right?
Yeah, the helicopter takes him to a spinoff.
Yeah. The helicopter was supposed to take him to 3 movies, but got
Oh yeah, I forgot.
changed, so they had to go to a
Movie, that's
miniseries
right.
instead. But yeah, so that was the whole thing. But the ending to this episode, where we see this whole new group, and then they get saved by this little girl named
Oh yes.
Judith Grimes.
Yeah, I thought that was also a little corny. Not gonna lie. I was like, oh
Yeah.
wow, we're doing the Star Wars thing where the kids are Jedis and whatever at the very end of Rise of Skywalker. It's like, oh cool, we're gonna reboot all of this. Like, that was kind of corny.
That was supposed to indicate like a time jump, though. No, or am I?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
shows that it's been 6 years.
Oh,
That was a 6-year time jump. So again, and here's, I guess we'll talk about it later on and everything, but it's like, we'll see what they do in the finale. But Rick is my guy. That's why I'm here.
Right.
And
Yeah.
The Walking Dead has still not closed the loop with like Rick and his characters and everything. And this was 2018 where Rick disappeared. Okay, it's now 2025. What are we doing? We're still going on, and we haven't had like everything resolved. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. But yeah, 6-year time skip. where Rick is gone. So we're going to come back into the next batch and see an episode from season 9, one from season 10, and then 2 from season 11 to close us out in the final batch. What are your guys' predictions? Because I also have no idea where we're going. So what are your predictions? Hunter, there's the Whispers.
I do know the Whispers.
See some of that.
One character's death that has not happened yet. So I do know one character's death.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I know.
No predictions.
Predictions. My guess is that because I feel like we're gonna watch a series finale. I mean, I'm gonna have to.
We sure will.
So my guess is that they just actually finally live in a happy community. Named it, I don't know, Grimeville or something like that, and they're living peacefully amongst each other.
I don't think people would want to visit Grimeville, though. That'd be a good. I think that tourism would be.
They're gonna do some corny thing to honor Rick or something like that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Your peace.
I also think that. So with knowing that there's spinoffs, I think that Daryl will probably go on his own, and then
because he's in France. We found that out at Barnes & Noble.
Oh, you went to the Barnes & Noble? Guys, you can't get spoiled by the Barnes & Noble. What are you doing?
I know. Back, it's like he's in France. Like, what?
I picked it up.
Did you see he was in France?
And I was like, Ryan's going to be so mad at me.
Was it like the French flag behind him, or what gave
No, like, I was like, oh, this is
the
the Walking Dead. Flipped it over in the back. It's like, oh, Daryl washed up shore in France or something.
Although I did spoil that in an earlier episode here that we were recording. I did say that he ended up in France. So
okay,
that's that's fine that you know that. But yeah,
I have no idea how he gets there.
So I think Michonne obviously too will also somehow go on her own.
I like the twang you give to Michonne.
Yeah.
Michonne. She's not French. Okay, just Michonne.
Michonne.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think she'll go on her own because I know the spinoff. She eventually, I guess, gets with Rick, or maybe it's them finding each other in that show.
Thing. With
I don't know.
With this next batch, and again, we'll talk more about like how the show overall changed and the different like eras and everything. But this next era, regardless of like what we see in it, a big issue they face is just like the main cast was leaving. Like Rick announced he left. I can say who else had announced they left and then did leave and all that stuff.
Probably Norman Reedus,
just to preserve,
I guess,
the just any surprises for you, Edward, and then I guess for you, Hunter, as well. But yeah, like these are stuff that get announced. Like you see casting updates and stuff like that. You also see like updates when actors leave a show. So it's like either they're getting killed or they're getting written off and stuff like that.
Right.
And then so they have to, the writers as well. They're like, well, now we have to change the storyline because this person's leaving, or now we can't have this. Morgan had already left. If you noticed, he wasn't in season 9.
Right.
He left like at the end of season 8. He was just like, tell Henry I'll be okay. That was his segue to go to the spinoff. So the show just became about like, how can we preserve characters,
the IP,
so we can send them to Spinoffville. Like that's what we need to start doing.
Like, oh, you like Morgan? We're gonna make a show about him. You like Daryl? We're gonna make a show about him. So like I feel like it probably separated the audience of like, okay, these are the characters that you guys love, and if you want to watch all of them, great. But we're gonna continue this IP until there's nothing left.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you all. And you may know the answer to this, Ryan, but I don't know. But my question for y'all is, who do we think is the new like main front since Rick is gone? Like, who is the guy or girl in 10 and 11?
It's a good question.
I do know the answer to that.
You do? Okay. My guess is Maggie.
I won't say anything. We'll see. Again, I've seen the episode of 9, which I can't speak to all of it, but I know it has, we've talked like certain moments stick out in episodes. That one has one of the craziest moments.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm sure you do. Very good.
Yeah.
And then I know nothing about 10 and 11 other than I just know like who is among the cast, but it's not a spoiler that Daryl, again, like he's the most popular non-Rick and non-Glenn, I guess, member of the show. So it's him. Like he becomes the face of it, undoubtedly.
Okay.
But it's more of an ensemble too, because Daryl, which again you haven't seen much Edward, but he's just there. He's like cool and everything.
Yeah, that's why
There wasn't much of a character to Daryl after
Yeah.
like season 4 and 5ish. Like he just becomes
just
cool guy,
badass.
very doesn't shower, grunts all the time, very like minimal words spoken.
Yeah. The only emotion he shows is with Carol.
Exactly. So they it'll be interesting to see because I haven't seen it like 10 and 11 when they have to bring him more into a leading man role, like what they do. Yeah, there's like it's 4 or 5 characters that become like the ensemble to replace like Rick, and then a bunch of side characters. So we'll have to see. We'll see what they do with it. But yeah, one more batch to close out our Walking Dead journey. But yeah, so who's your favorite right now, Edward? Your top 5?
After this batch, it's probably the same. It's probably the same. I forget what it was, but I'm gonna try. I think it's Rick, Daryl. It's unfortunately I would think Morgan. I mean, he's a great character, but after the third episode we watched, I was not very impressed.
Yeah,
because he's kind of a big
talking to Jesus.
Well, maybe we do a Fear the Walking Dead version of this. That would be compelling to see.
I think I'm busy on that day.
How much of that have you watched?
I was only season 1, and I was like, wow, this is bad.
You didn't even get to Morgan. Dang, that's crazy.
I did.
I think it'd be funny just if Edward likes Morgan just to see that. My spoiler for that would be prepared to take them from your best 5 to your worst 5 characters.
Oh no!
They did it with like a little bit in season 7 and 8 here, but then in Fear they just go all the way with just making him like incomprehensibly stupid and like spinning between 2 polar opposites, and it's like what's going on. But he gets a sick beard and like a cool axe at one point, so maybe worth a watch. Maybe worth a watch. Yeah. All right. Third batch finished. One more to go. All right. We are all back together to talk about the 4th and final batch of The Walking Dead, our retrospective going through a few of the highlight episodes of this franchise. So, gentlemen, the 4th batch included season 9, episode 15, The Calm Before, the season 10 finale, episode 22 of that season, Here's Negan, season 11, episode 9, No Other Way, and of course we had to finish it off with the series finale of The Walking Dead, episode 24 of season 11, Rest in Peace. So those were our 4 episodes this time around. This is the post-Rick batch. So we'll talk about how the show was able to adapt to his absence and whether or not we enjoyed it. Edward is shaking his head no.
Lack thereof.
The answer is they were not able to adapt it. I'm kidding. We'll get to it.
Yes,
we'll talk about that. And then I want you all to think of your final, top 5 characters. Think about favorite moments, favorite scene, favorite episode of the ones that we saw. So we'll chat about that stuff as we do our final roundup. But yeah, overall, 4th batch. Seems like y'all weren't too happy with it.
So you know how in the last batch I was like, fuck, I should have kept watching. No, I made the right call. It's rough, man. It's rough.
Dang.
So good. No, I actually
tough break.
I really hated everything.
Everything? Ooh.
Just about everything.
There was a few bright spots for me. There was a Gabriel moment that actually redeemed him in my eyes for me.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Again, it's one of those things where I'm like, I will acknowledge that was kind of cool, but
Yeah, me too.
I will still hold to my position. I don't like Gabriel. Get rid of him.
No,
Don't
I
care.
agree. I totally
Don't
agree.
care.
Yeah, I agree. But we'll talk about that moment later. But yeah, no, I feel the same way. Where just characters. There's one in specific that had like an entire episode to himself, and
Yeah.
it was kind of ass.
Dang.
That's yes,
There were
it
parts.
was.
There were
Oh,
bright parts.
yeah.
There were bright
It-
parts of it, no doubt. But there were a lot of dark spots that made
yeah.
no sense at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All right.
You know what's
let's get to
crazy?
it.
That yes, his episode was also a little ass, but that was my favorite out of these.
Oh yeah, that was my
four.
favorite as well. No, it was my
Okay.
favorite
Okay.
out of the four. Yeah, for sure. But still,
Yeah.
yeah.
But first, it'll have to be the calm before.
Yeah,
I
we'll talk about the
suppose.
season 9 episode, The Calm Before. So this one, we get to see a bit of those whispers that you were talking about, Hunter, that you didn't get to see fully
Yeah.
fleshed out, but you knew that was like a thing that happened in the comics. They adapted the shows. So, The Calm Before. What were your
Yes.
thoughts?
I did not care for it. Okay, it's really weird. Okay, well, first off, going into it, I knew, and I've seen the scene of all the people they killed on their head on like
Yeah,
this
that was the
stake and
big
everything.
the
That's
big
the big
moment
moment.
for sure.
Yeah, and I've seen that before. I already
Which
knew
was
going
really
in.
effective. I thought it was still really strong this time around. Edward, what do you think? Since that was presumably you hadn't seen anything like that before.
Honestly, it like was a little bit. Obviously I didn't understand it, but I also did not like care at all.
Tragic.
Yeah, those people meant nothing to me, and I don't think. I think there was a few of them that maybe meant something, like Carol's boy.
Yeah.
Henry.
That was pretty sad because that's like the last one they also reveal.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, and also like that flashback where they like show them show them like in the barn. I was like,
The
what
real
are we
story.
doing?
That part
They fought
I forgot
till the
all
end.
about. I'll be honest. I thought Sadiq died. I thought he was on one of the pikes. So him surviving and then him like giving that speech afterwards, I did not remember any of that.
That whole like that episode had like 5 endings. I swear to God. Like I thought it was over, and then I'm like, oh wait a minute, there's still 3 minutes
Yeah.
left. What are we doing? And it just kept going. I was like, okay, guys, you could have ended it with the spikes, and that could have been
That's
it.
what.
And then you could.
Yeah,
That's what I thought
should've.
too. I was like, this is a no-brainer. Like, end it there. End it with Carol, like collapsing in Daryl's arms.
Yeah.
Like, end it
Yeah.
there. Like, why do we
There was
need the speech of like hope and they fought till the end? And it's like,
I was
save that for the next
lame.
episode or something.
Yeah, it was just exposition dump. I was like, okay, cool. That was. I guess I missed that, but there it is. Never mind.
So, Hunter, what did you think of that? You didn't.
No, it didn't. And I, going in, like I said, I knew who perished. And I also have some connections to some characters as well, like Tara being one of them, and I always forget her name, but the girl that we saw have that conversation with Glenn in the church.
Enid, yeah.
Enid, yes, I've had a connection with her because she was in a couple, like at least a season before and everything. Still didn't work for me, and honestly, we've seen Henry as well. I was like, I felt nothing when that big reveal, because I was annoyed earlier on because I'm just like, dude, I don't care about little teenage romance. Oh, look, I think he's got a thing for her. Dude, what are we doing? This is the fucking Walking Dead, man.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the overarching theme through our not hatred, but distaste. I think is that they strayed so far out of the like main circle that made the show good, and
yeah. Well, in its defense, I will say there's clearly Henry is filling the role of Carl in this season because Carl's gone. So he was supposed to be the one that has the romance with Lydia in the comics, and Carl's not here, so they had to have Henry do it. I thought that was a pretty, like, if you don't have Carl, upgrade Henry. We already saw him before. Edward, if you remember when Morgan is crashing out and he's like about to stab a kid with his stick, that kid
Yes,
was
I remember
Henry,
that.
the little blonde boy. So
Yeah.
that Henry grows up into the Henry we see here. And so, yeah, in like season 9, you see more of him and Lydia's dynamic, their teen romance and everything. And I mean, yeah, like with honestly, all the romances in the show, aside from Glenn and Maggie, it's a little eye rolling at times. But I thought because of Carol specifically, we know what happened with her with Sophia. She already had lost a child, and now she has an adopted son, Henry, who she has with Ezekiel, her new partner. And then Henry dies as well. I thought that was like a crazy surprise when I first saw it, because it was like, okay, Henry is now the new Carl. They can't kill off the new Carl. Like, there's no way they're going to do that. And they did. So that was like really shocking to me the first time around. And I thought, the way that they actually pulled everything off, the music, cutting back and forth between everyone asking about like the whereabouts of the loved ones. And then we
I
cut
like
to
that. I did like
the reanimated heads on a pike.
Yeah.
I did
I
like
thought that was
Really
great.
great scene though.
And then obviously by this point, it's Henry, but you see Carol having that realization. You see Daryl running to try and block her view so that she doesn't have to see her like new son, her adopted son, on a pike. It was really effective, I thought. So that part for me worked really well. And obviously the whole rest of the episode is the calm before. It's all them having this nice fair, the community's coming together. They're all supposed to be, living out these domestic troubles in their lives, rather than, fighting for survival, stuff like that. So you get to see all the characters having more normal moments, which mileage varies because some characters, we don't have that strong of a connection to, especially like Edward for you. Some of the characters you're just like, I don't even know who these
Yeah,
people
I
are.
don't
It's
know who that
supposed to
old
be
woman
important.
was. No idea.
Yeah, so I can see where that definitely like minimizes the impact.
Yeah.
Tara was able to get a good moment in here of now she's like the leader of the hilltop in Maggie's absence. So I liked her character a lot. So it was sad to see her go. Same with Enid, and someone had pointed this out. I was like rewatching the video of that reveal, and one of the comments had pointed out, I think the reason why it was so sad about like these two characters specifically, which is they were Glenn's like gals. They were the ones that Glenn had an influence on, brought into the group basically. Like Tara, if you remember Hunter, the whole thing with the governor goes down. Tara's still at the prison. Glenn, who's like sick, is still at the prison. That's how they meet up, and then they go towards Terminus together. Same with Enid. We saw the episode of them, in the church talking, and him like giving that lesson to her about like the people that are gone still carry forward in us. So it was like these were the last two people outside of Maggie, obviously, and their son, that Glenn had that massive impact on. And so they both got in one fell swoop. I was like, oh, that's terrible. So yeah, the people in particular, Enid, Tara, and Henry, the choice of each of them, I thought was pretty bold, and I thought the way that they like did the reveal was very effective for me.
Yeah, I like the shot of Daryl coming. It's like a rising shot, and it's like Daryl
The
coming
focus.
up. I thought that was pretty cool. I had two notes from this episode. This is like two notes, and then the rest of the episodes, I had 30 things to say about every single one of them.
Yeah.
So I guess take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, this one I said I did not care until the Whispers showed up, and like even then I was like, okay, these guys are kind of lame. And I also said that the choreography has diminished in this show, especially in the flashback to like when they're like, getting killed.
Yeah,
It was horrendous.
Terrible. Yeah, everything about that was bad.
The action is like not action anymore. It's very like muted. It feels. I don't. And I'll talk about more of the other episodes, but
Yeah.
that's what I got from this one. I was like, oh, okay, we're just taking a step back in this area.
Yeah. One final note on this episode before we move on, which is just a crazy, fun coincidence. Sophia's actress and Henry's actor are real life siblings. Both
Oh.
of Carol's like children in the show, Sophia and
crazy.
Henry, are actual siblings, and young Henry is like the other sibling of that group. So all of that family, the old
His family.
Henry is Matt Lintz, Madison Lintz was the Sophia actress. That whole like family is featured in The Walking Dead as Carol's children, and
That is
they're all
crazy.
dead.
Right there.
So
Yeah.
sucks for
I will
Carol.
say one other thing before we move on. I've only seen the scene of the reveal in the Pikes at the end.
Yep.
However, when I was watching this, I got crazy like deja vu multiple times. Like I feel like I've seen this scene before. Like, and I know I wasn't watching the show, and I haven't seen this episode, but I was so vividly like, oh yeah, I've seen this. Oh yeah, I've seen that part. I'm just like, I don't know where it was coming from. It was weird. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The end of Clone Wars. That's what you saw.
One other note, I guess just a question actually. Alpha, who we see in this, like infiltrates the fair without the Walker mask. But then we see her later on, I think, actually having the Walker mask, or at least you see, the other whispers around. What do you guys think of that? Because honestly, Alpha, I never really bought as a strong villain.
No, I didn't either. Yeah, she wasn't.
Alpha's the one in the kingdom,
bald
or the
one.
the bald one.
Yeah, she's the bald woman.
I think
I
they're
don't know.
terrifying, but she
There's
wasn't like menace. Like actually,
Yeah, and I don't know what the accent was there. It was just not. It just felt a little over the top, ridiculous.
I don't care. I would need to see more of her to have an opinion, to be honest, because the only things I know are A, everything in this episode, and B, she and Negan hook up in the forest.
Yes, yeah.
So,
but Negan does
that's
it ultimately to kill Alpha. He was like infiltrating the Whisperers.
I didn't even get that far, and
Yeah.
like a Twitter or YouTube clip of whenever it was airing, like what's going on, kind of thing.
No, he wasn't actually infatuated with Alpha. Actually, he may have been. I don't know, but the ultimate goal of it was to get her to trust him, and then he took her out. And that leads us into the season 10 finale. Here's Negan. We get a full Negan backstory episode. Starts with Carol banishing him. And then we get to see Negan crashing out a bit, hallucinating old season 7 Negan. And then we get to see his life early in the apocalypse and then pre-apocalypse as well, with his wife, Lucille, who's dying from cancer. So I'm gonna let y'all take this away. You said you had many thoughts on this one.
Yeah. I was just. It was a lot of questions. It was like, okay, why are we doing that? Okay, why are we doing this? Let's start there, right? Why is he?
Fair.
Why is he a? Why was he a bad guy? Why is he a bad guy? Why is he such a bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
Is that answered in this episode?
Somewhat. I think it's trying to get you there.
Yeah, but it doesn't it's not convincing to me at all. Like it's the whole story makes me feel bad for him, and obviously he's trying to become better than he was because he had that bar fight, but then he's like, there are no rules out here. Like I'm gonna, there's no one to arrest me to do anything, and I'm just like, I mean, I guess, like, sure, but that was like one event that like he was defending his wife, and now he's gonna kill a bunch of people for no good reason. Okay, sure, I guess.
I mean, he had a reason in the sense that they were gonna kill him in a sense, and they did torture him a bit.
Yeah, I guess. Trying to think. It was funny. I noticed in the previous episode we started off with like a it was like a, I don't know who they were, forgive me, but they were like happy anniversary, and it was funny because this episode
Oh,
also mentioned
yeah,
their anniversary, so it was a little bit of like a crossover, like an unintended crossover
yeah,
of
dude.
of anniversaries.
In the episode
Um,
before, they kept saying "Happy Anniversary." I'm like,
yeah, I was a
guys, is
little,
it their
yeah.
anniversary? I don't know. They said
I
it like
I
10
have
times in the
no
first
idea.
3 minutes.
Because
I'm
they
like,
were
oh my
skipping
Yeah,
through time to show them they were like hilltop
yeah.
residents, and it was like different years of them uh, having their anniversary.
I
But yeah,
know.
a
I'm like,
little heavy handed there.
damn.
And the H tokens for
Yeah.
hilltop for home, and then for Henry at the end when Radio lays it down at his pike, which is crazy by the
Or
way. To be like
or head.
Daryl had to be like, yeah, the pike on the end is the one that his head was on. So go lay down there. A little awkward convo. But
yeah.
yeah, so for Negan, for his backstory, we do get an understanding of where he got the leather jacket, the bats, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I
But
think
you're
that was
saying
a
we
little
don't
corny,
get
but
the understanding of his villainry.
yeah, it was a little too soft. Even like when he doesn't kill the zombie, I was like, okay, that was kind of awkward. But okay, he gets his strength from his wife, but then now he's like, I don't know. It just didn't make much. Like it didn't give me the same like fire that Negan used to have or like had in the previous
Mhm.
season. And yeah, it was. I also thought he was gonna die at the end of the episode for a long time. I was like, oh, this guy is gonna die. That's why they're doing this, and I thought that was really corny, and I'm glad they didn't. So, um, yeah, and the whole seeing red thing, that was cool. That was
Mhm.
nice. I did like that. So if that's the one reason, sure. Yeah, I get it. I like that. I like that. Um, yeah, and the fire when he burns the house was pretty awesome. Like there's like a shot of him behind the fire. It just looks really sick.
Yeah,
Um, but
which
I like the
doesn't
relationship
really
a lot.
kill Lucille though, right? I mean, walkers obviously don't come out unscathed from getting burned like that, but it would still be alive, right? Unless it entirely got engulfed in flames and then the
It's
brain also
my
gets burned
guess
up.
is that it
Yeah,
got engulfed in flames. He did pour a bunch of
I guess
gasoline
so,
down
but I'm like, he
there.
should just took her out first and then burn the whole thing down. But
Yeah, see, and that would have made it a little bit more believable in his transition to villainry, having
right,
to, you know, kill his wife, alive
right.
or dead. But he doesn't. He inadvertently does in a sense.
I guess he
You know,
does, but
he
I don't know.
does, but like he does it in a pussy way.
She's alive.
And
She's somewhere.
yeah,
Make a spinoff. Make a spinoff for her. Make a spinoff.
yeah, apparently. And his whole reaction to killing and going on that spree after she's dead and everything towards the end of the episode, it gives off, and it's comparable to Rick when Carl got shot and he's out there just killing zombies. It just trying to release that rage and emotion, but not a full turn of a character. It's just, hey, I'm releasing this red that I have right now.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then after, I would assume he'd be fine. But no, he's that's Negan.
Well, I think it's I do buy like that part of it, and because he had the whole bar fight and the seeing red, as Edward brought up, like that shows that he has some intense anger in there, and so
Yeah.
he'll like
Yeah.
release it if it means protecting someone he loves or like standing for their honor, whatever it is. And then, which I wish they would have leaned a little bit more into, but we know the person that like gives him the bat is one of the saviors that we see like later on. Like she is one of the saviors,
Okay,
so
I
she
was going to
becomes
mention she
his
looks
group.
familiar.
Yeah, so he takes on the doctor. I don't think ever comes back around, but he like starts a group basically with them, which eventually becomes the saviors. And then, however, he gets to the point where he's taking multiple wives and burning people's faces with an iron. I don't know how he gets there, but we do see at least enough how he gets to the point where he's like, I will, kill people now. And if I think they're bad people, I'll relish in it. Or if it like serves my interest, I'll relish in it as well. So I just really like the part like when he turns on when Jeffrey Dean Morgan turns on the Negan. You know, the
Yeah.
voice, the little leans he does. Like once he gets into that mode, I'm like, ooh, this is good. Like I like it.
That's good. Yeah, that's the parts that I like.
But yeah, so I wish they would have leaned more into like now that he killed those people, he like got his revenge, got the grief of his wife dying out of the way. It's not like he's just gonna go back to being mopey and whatever. He's gonna start being like, okay, I'm gonna take action now. I'm not gonna let something like this happen again, and I'm gonna start with this group of people that you know the doctors are giving things around to people. Now he would feel a sense of needing to protect them. I think we could have seen a little bit more of that and a tease for how that becomes his group later down the line, how it becomes the saviors. But for the most part, I thought it worked. I thought they did enough to showcase like he is kind of a dick in like pre-apocalypse. Like he's cheating on his wife and everything. He's like just gaming, being lazy instead of looking for jobs. Like we see like Negan's
that part. I was like, what the fuck?
No, I didn't like the flashback within the flashback. I thought that was a little off.
I agree with that.
I wasn't a fan. I think you should have led with that, and then you could have gone into like this. I think putting it in the middle of it was like, okay, that was kind of weird. All right. He's just like me for real.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, so that's how he gets all his quips and shit like that from
if that's
Fortnite, but basically playing fucking Fortnite. It's like, what the fuck?
Isn't that really funny though? Imagine if somehow pre-apocalypse you're like in a game with Negan, you heard one of his quips, and then in the apocalypse you're kneeling down with your group about to get smashed. Your head's about to get smashed with a bat, and then you hear the same quip, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Like a COD
4
thing.
Yeah. Uber Negan Gamer XXX? What?
Yeah.
Dude, I played with you.
Dude, you hit the phase node scope, bro.
Bro, let's run it back. We don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Balls.
I'm still running actually back home. Just let me live, huh? We'll go play.
I also think Gabriel's return in the end of this episode, I was like, oh my God, I hate him so much. He sucks. Why is he still here?
But then we get Maggie coming back.
Yeah, that was
awesome. And I like that the little death stare she gives Negan when he rolls up.
Yeah.
And Carol too. Carol is just very funny in this episode. Because again, she does just of her own accord like banish Negan, and even brings that up. Is like, is this the council's decision or is this Carol taking the reins type of situation? And she's like, you know me so well, basically. So yeah, I like that. But all right, any other thoughts on here's Negan before we move on?
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm worried I'm gonna get used to it.
Yeah, it's the best out of these four, but that's not saying a lot. So
right. 11:09. No other way. We are thrusted right into the action of stuff that none of us understand, because I have, you know, as much understanding of season 11 as y'all do. So I was like trying to get my bearings as well of what in the world was happening. But yeah, so no other way. Your guys' thoughts?
So this season, and I don't know if it was more noticeable in 10, but it was hard to notice specifically because we chose a backstory episode, so it was going to be a little different. It's a completely different look, feel, and vibe.
Yeah.
The show is so much more digital. And all that, like, if you go back to like 1, 2, 3, there's such heavy film grain. Gone. The music is also very different. And I gotta say, dude, the choreography and the way some of this stuff is shot, it feels like they're like a little kid that just got their hands on the first ever drone in gimbal. And it's like, guys, look what I can do. It's like, stop. Like, just stop. It showed the switch that this had, the show had, which is, let's just make action. Let's just do action. I didn't care, man. It was not good. Everything, like, they're fighting in, what is that, like a school? Is that what you would call it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, also, the MCUification. Why does everybody need to have a quip, quirk, joke? Like, what the fuck? Also, why do these people have masks? Like, what happened to walkers? I know walkers were in there a bit, but like, we're fighting people that carry around like masks, and they're like, "Ooh, look at me!"
Yeah, it was so lame.
Like, what?
Also, the armored people.
Bro, we
The
got
very
fucking
end.
stormtroopers.
It
We
was
got stormtroopers.
I
What are
legitimately
we
thought they
doing?
were stormtroopers when they were pulling up. I was like,
Yes.
"What is this?"
They literally call them troopers too. It's hilarious.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god.
I unfortunately and I know we knew this. Like we had told, I had heard this that Daryl was going to be the new like kind of sort of leader.
Mhm.
And to me, and
I was
it
wrong.
might just be me, but he doesn't have enough backstory to like warrant any like actual leader qualities, in my opinion. Like he's fun, like he's a fun character, but like when he's saying things to like Rick would say, like trying to lead the group, it's just does not hit at all. Like
No.
it's like, oh, okay, this is cool, but he's not. I don't believe anything that he's saying. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense. He doesn't
He's the
have
right
any.
hand man that's being thrusted into like the spotlight now to make the big
Yeah,
speeches and all that. When his role was never really supposed to be that. He's
Yeah.
supposed to be the
And
one backing and being the first like first head to nod with Rick making his speeches and not
yeah,
saying the lines themselves.
and it naturally would fit Maggie's character if they did that.
yeah.
But
I
instead, they just
agree.
make her some
Or even
revenge
Carol. I mean,
hating.
Carol too.
Yeah, yeah. But the reason why it's not Carol is because she's like leaves sometimes, and she's bad. She's good doing her own thing. But
That's
like
valid.
it makes and like Maggie was like when we seen when they arrive at Alexandria, she's trying to be one of the big leaders and everything. But then they just make her, I hate Negan, I want to kill, 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 kill. And it's
Yeah.
like you had the perfect setup and it would make sense for her character. And also you can or like spin it in a way where she does like it just not also
The
why
one.
the fuck why is there so many hidden compartments? We got one behind like in like the hospital area, like a hidden door, and then we got one over like an easel or something. We got two separate like secret rooms in this episode. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I also like Maggie was like super badass when she like killed those three people for no reason.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool. I still correct me if I'm wrong. I still think it makes zero. Like she has probably the most trauma out of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And her her hubby's killer. She still like has him around. I just like it feels
Hey,
like if
bud,
she's
they got a spin-off show together.
it makes no sense why they're like buddy but not even but they're not really buddy but like why hasn't if she's able to like just kill these random people, I promise you, or I
Yeah.
guess I can't promise anything because I don't know, but there's no way it can be worse than what Negan did. So I'm like, what would
Mm-hmm.
warrant her killing them over Negan like any day? I don't think there's anything that would like,
No.
you know what I
Well,
mean?
that's what
Like,
they
Yeah,
said.
and
That's why he leaves at the end of the episode because he's like, I saw like what you did with them.
yeah.
Like it's only a matter of time before you are going to do the same to me. So I'm bowing out.
right, but hasn't it been like
I
a
haven't seen
long
the
time?
episodes for how they
Yeah.
explain it, but
Probably like 7 years?
Negan,
6, 7
Yeah,
years?
yeah, it was 6
wasn't it 6 years?
years.
Yeah,
I know
7
there
years,
was
I
a
think it was
6
7 years.
you're
from
talking
like
about.
when we saw that Judith, but I don't know if we're gonna also add more time onto that. But we saw her have that conversation, and that was my whole thing. Fuck, I should have continued watching. I think her revenge and hatred is over when she has that moment with Negan and confronting him, but then still leaves him in the cell. That should have been it. That should have been the end of her little arc with it. No, she's still.
Well, no, because here's why. So Maggie leaves the same time as Rick. Y'all can hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. So yeah, Maggie leaves the show, like the actress, the same
Oh.
time Andrew Lincoln does. She's not in season 9. That's why we didn't see her in that episode.
No.
And that's why Tara is the one that's like in charge of Hilltop instead of Maggie. She doesn't come back until like the end of season 10, I believe, and only for one episode, like a backstory type episode. Maggie's been gone like that whole time. So when she is here seeing Negan out and about, that's like her first time seeing it. And that's why she's angry, which I think makes sense. Because she's like, oh, like I'll leave Negan alive because he's rotting in a prison. Now she's seeing him out and about, like part of the
Right.
community. And so she's like,
Okay.
this is not okay.
All right.
With the
That kinda makes
context,
sense.
it makes a little bit more sense now. Also, why I vividly remember seeing that now. I remember seeing Maggie go with like an older lady, and I don't know if they had like a tank or something. There's like a group of she's left with like a group of women or something. I think I don't know what. I could be wrong.
I don't
Why
know.
am I
I
seeing
don't
this?
remember
What is
that.
happening?
You're having like
What the fuck,
visions
dude?
of an alternate Walking Dead or something. I don't know.
Like, what is going on?
But and then to that point, I think what the Reapers did to Maggie is, again, I haven't seen the stuff, so I don't.
Yeah,
I'm also
I don't
going
know
off
what they
like
did.
context clues and things I've seen here and there. But I think she had a group. That kid Elijah that is like injured.
They did something to Josephine.
He was talking about Josephine and all these people. Maggie had like a whole nother group, and they all got killed by the Reapers. So, and Elijah is probably like the only survivor of them. So that's why she like wants to take him out.
I understand that, but you had this whole scene dedicated to her putting that aside. Why are we doing this again? And then she has that scene again later on with her conversation with Negan again.
No, but I think they work. I think in the context of like these little snippets, which is funny that we get to see each of them, like the tease at the end of season 10, where she's like giving the death stare. This one where they're forced to like work together for whatever reason, and then he has to leave, and then somehow again they come back together for that finale episode. But I think it makes sense of like each moment where she's like not okay with Negan at all being out and about, then has to like not kill him right away because they have to work together to, you know, attack the Reapers or whatever it is. And then in the finale, you know, then they're able to have that stronger understanding.
Well, my complaint is her killing the Reapers. I can understand everything with Negan, I get that, but it's her killing the Reapers. It's, you know, you have that arc dedicated to her as a character as a whole, not just dedicated to Negan, and then she just kills them all. I don't know. It feels to me, but I think that's why no context. It feels like they can't make a decision. Like, do we want to have her as like a killing bloodthirsty person or not? And I guess at the end they decide not to, as we saw in the series finale. But I feel like we've been going through this again and again and again. It's like one step forward, two steps back, kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know. That's just me, but also I haven't seen the last 2 seasons. I could just speak it on my ass.
But yeah, any other thoughts on No Other Way?
Gabriel has one of the hardest lines in this show.
Gabriel,
when he says, "Call me Gabriel." Yo.
Oh, the MCUification.
No, but it was so funny. I loved it. It was
funny
the
that
part.
That I was anyone not calling him Gabriel at that point? Like, I don't know why you needed to say that, but
well, it's because she was like Jeffrey or Justin or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, no, really, this is Gabriel.
Yeah, call me Gabriel. I was like, yo.
It's like, all right, you're gonna twirl your little mustache now, you know?
I wrote like my note was, "You'll never make me like Gabriel." But he did come in clutch there.
He did come in clutch. I will say his moment in the, I don't know if you'd want to,
in the church, whatever it was.
Yeah, that was a neat moment.
Didn't care for it. I was like,
it was neat.
Move on.
Yeah, I was like,
that's what you're talking about with Maggie and Negan. That was me for Gabriel, of like this back and forth of him being like, "Oh, I let my whole congregation die. I wasn't strong enough. Blah blah blah. I'm a man of God. Blah blah blah." I'm like, I don't care, Gabriel. Shut up. Just do it. Kill him or move on. Like, whatever.
No, I agree with that.
So I didn't care about that. But I do want to bring up Aaron, the homeboy with
his arm.
His arm is gone. It is now like a mace. What is that?
A ball spike thing. Yeah, mace.
It was very cool.
It's like a spiky ball.
Yeah. He's awesome. He's been gone in these episodes that we've been watching. Like,
yeah,
the implication must have been like he's been dead, but no, like he was fine the whole time. He lost an arm along the way.
I
But
was under the implication that he died in the episode The Storm, the season 9 finale.
yeah,
I don't
no,
know why.
he's good. He's kicking.
I don't know why I thought
He wasn't even in that like episode though. He wasn't even in like the calm before, which is
I know that,
so
and then
unfortunate.
so I know, and I was like, wait, did he die earlier? Then am I missing something?
No.
And then here he is with a cool ass beard and a mace for an arm, and I'm just like, and he's got a kid, and he has a daughter, and I'm just like, you know what? Maybe you had the new Rick right here.
That's not big Rick energy out of him. This should
Yeah.
have been. He should have moved up. Like instead of Gabriel being the leader of Alexandria for whatever reason, they kept trying to push that. It should have been Aaron, who was like an OG Alexandrian, number one, and number two. This is literally like this is comic Rick. Like he is.
Yeah.
They just gave him the exact look of like comic book Rick with the beard, the short hair, the arm. Like he was Rick. It was him. So I don't know why they didn't go for that. We got to see at least, Lydia is still here and kicking after the whole alpha shenanigans.
Yeah, cool, sure, I guess. Good for you. Go on, girl, give us nothing.
Guys, Rosita dating Gabriel? Thoughts?
Dude, okay, I was about to ask. Is she in a love triangle with Eugene and Gabriel? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know. Rosita officially, I think, is with Gabriel. Her baby is with Sadiq, who's now dead. And Eugene has always loved her, even when, she was with Abraham. So,
Okay.
I don't know what is going on there. Again, Gabriel and Rosita makes zero sense.
No shot at all.
So
dude.
definitely shouldn't have been a thing. And yeah, so now she's, I think in that episode, or no, the season 9, she was pregnant. So yeah, here she has the kid already. But yeah, very strange.
She jumped off that bus or whatever the hell into the window. Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah, that was in the finale thing.
Oh, so we're talking about are we going to talk about the series finale now?
Well, let's see. So what do you all think of the Commonwealth stormtroopers showing up? Eugene rolls up with them.
Incredibly.
Dude, when I was like, is that Eugene? No, that's a girl. Wait, no, that is Eugene. It's like, why does he have this long ass rat tail or something? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I was just wondering where they got those from the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Where they've been this entire time.
I was like, what's going on? And then we see Daryl like, this is the only way. And I'm like,
no, this is the way.
That was a good little impression.
I'm the Mandalorian now.
You just had to do the like arm thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. One other thing I want to talk about of this episode, you guys are sort of touching on like the MCUification, the action, again, the choreography of like the Carver, I think his name was, like doing a 1v3 battle with Elijah, Maggie, Negan. Like that stuff becomes silly. And they started doing that, when Morgan became a ninja Donatello, like they've been doing this for a while, but like, it's gotten to an extreme.
A little like teases of it here and there. Now, at least from what I guarded from this episode, that seems to be their shtick now. It used to be like, oh, we are a grounded, rooted, apocalyptic zombie show. Now it's like,
it's a bit more cartoonish for sure. And I thought the zombies like coming down to Judith and Gracie in the basement that was like getting flooded. I thought that was very cool. I thought it was very effective.
I actually like the water, like underwater stuff.
Yes,
I thought it was nice. It was a good set piece. And Aaron comes in and starts something battle and gets trapped, but then he just sort of somehow gets out like, because of the rope.
Yeah, just the rope.
Where they tied the rope off, how he got up there. And then they skip the windmill stuff entirely. The windmill's burning down. Aaron must have said 1,000 times, like, we are the windmill. The windmill needs everything. Yeah, like, and then we don't even see how they, like, put out the fire.
They just run to it. And then you see, like, fucking Bill Gates show up and the windmill's behind him. It's like, what?
So they just, like randomly skip over some, like, plot points here. Like, we just miss some things. So I'm like, I don't understand what's going on there. So definitely,
but it's important. Gabriel talking in the church and having our Daredevil hallway fight. That's important.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, that's the glue that's holding the audience together. At least, so it feels, that's what it is. And then you have your usual bad green screen, CGI
Oh,
specifically.
yeah.
The CGI has gotten bad too.
And then we will talk about that in the series finale about bad
Yeah.
CGI.
Oh
Yeah, rest in peace.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
So let's do it. Judith, continuing the Grimes family tradition of being shot. So she's getting
Okay, is that what happened? She got
Robin's-
shot?
Yeah. Well, I
Okay.
think Governor Milton is who shot her, I think, based on what Mercer, the like red stormtrooper, says. He's like, you shot a
Maybe. I
child.
don't know.
I'm assuming that's Judith that she shot.
Okay.
But she was definitely
Probably,
shot.
Okay. I didn't know. I'm just like, what the fuck?
So yeah,
okay. We're in a hospital.
she shot.
Very
Daryl
diet
brings into the
big
hospital.
bad.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And then-
so guys,
Yeah.
a lot happened in this episode. Is
Yes.
this one of the ones you had a lot of notes on, Edward?
Yeah, I had
30 notes.
plentiful.
Okay.
What is there?
Plentiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I did not find the editing or the sound mixing attractive at all. I thought it was horrendous. I thought almost every line in this was recorded as follows. We need to go here and get this. Then we're going to go here and we're going to get this. Then it's like, what are we doing? Are we...
Not only that, but don't forget hope, guys. We are the ones who live. We are the ones who live. We are the ones who live.
That's at the very end. Yeah.
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 This also felt there's so many speeches upon speeches of just like, we got this.
We are the ones.
Anyways, continue on.
Yeah. No. So I continuing. Yeah, and then I wrote that there's absolutely no way she made that jump from the bus, but that's okay. And then also
Rosita?
how the fuck did she,
Don't get me started
she
on
get
that
out
shit.
of that zombie horde at the bottom? Who knows? Who
Don't.
cares? It doesn't matter.
She got superpowers, man. She's carrying a fucking baby.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She has a baby.
You guys don't
Doesn't matter.
understand. She fell underneath a dumpster and was able to
Yeah.
crawl out.
Yeah. It felt like that, but worse.
Yeah. And then I said there's absolutely no life to these characters at all. And then they played CM Punk's theme song, and I was like, all right.
I was like, no way. Cult of personality out of nowhere.
I know.
Like, it was mixed so weird because it was like diegetic sound for like half of it. And I was like, what are we doing? You're skipping the best parts of the song. I don't get it. And then I said CGI is back to dog shit. What the hell was that? And I said that the ending felt stale. It felt like a heartfelt like thing where like all the faces were appearing and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's cute.
I guess I
was like, that was cool. And then Akuye is going to go find Rick. Woohoo! We have another show. Let's go.
Yes. Do you know what this one's called? The Ones Who Live.
I figured it was. I knew that.
They literally just put an advertisement at the end.
They sure did. I really think as soon as Rick returned like his foot, I was like, oh my god, that's Rick's toes. I know it.
I knew him by his nose. I was
as soon as he appeared on screen, I legitimately gasped and I was like, this is what they were missing for these last 3 seasons.
Yeah,
like
you feel the aura.
Exactly
dude.
what they were missing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how much of a presence Rick has, and how much you want him to just be in the show. Like, and again, we'll talk more about this of like the future of The Walking Dead and everything afterwards. But of the spinoffs, I only watched the one with Rick, because I've been waiting this whole time. I'm like, give me Rick. He's the one I'm here for. Even though I love, again, Carol and Daryl and Maggie, like I love them, but part of the other issue of these final few seasons is they couldn't hold on to all the other like A-list characters that they had because Maggie left for a season and a half. Michonne, as you noticed, isn't in season 11, and so it had to be like Daryl, Carol, sometimes Maggie, and Negan. Like that was the show that they had to build, and in some places it works. Again, I thought the Carol stuff with like Henry earlier on was effective, but they also, here's my other, my theory of why the show towards the end sort of goes off the rails. There's too many like communities that they have to deal with, and all our characters get spread out among them. Season 4, right, Hunter, where the back half of season 4, all our characters get split up. The reason I thought that was so cool and satisfying is because we knew they would come back together and they would all
Mhm.
reunite. The issue with like season 7 onward is all our people, like our survivors, are split among different communities. They don't even like live next to each other. Carol says to Judith in that season 9 episode, "Do you remember me?" Because they haven't seen each other in like 5 years. Like our survivors aren't even a unit together anymore because they're spread up
Mhm.
amongst the different communities. So when you have all the characters split off and you don't know if they're going to actually reunite, it's less compelling, it's less interesting, we're less invested in whatever their
Mhm.
individual subplots are because we want the group of survivors. The first like 5 seasons was all about this core unit group of survivors
Yeah.
led by Rick.
It's like
And
what,
now
12, 14 people?
exactly, yeah. And now we have, the same number of people or thereabout, 12, 14 people split amongst 4, 5, 6 maybe communities and different timelines. And Rick isn't there to lead them. And it's like, what's going on? Like, it's just too
It's too
fractured,
much.
too splintered.
Yeah.
And so it just, yeah, it doesn't have that same oomph. And so that I think is part of why, in addition to main cast members having to leave and come back, and we're leaving the doors open ended for those characters to return later down the line, it just meant that the show wasn't able to be as focused, as
Mhm.
precise, as tight knit as it used to be.
I and to add on to that, well, also there's just way too many fucking characters as well in general that they add. But and you see it in the series finale, and I think he was in it, started and was introduced right when I started to like leave the show. But the guy that has a whole death scene with his leg getting bit off in the series finale,
Luke, yeah.
the Fantastic Beast dude, and then the like cousin in the Goldbergs. That's what I know him from.
Yes, he as far as I know, because again I don't watch the show, but he's
Yeah,
also like not even in the show that much. Like this was maybe what we saw of him is
that's
probably you've seen like 40% of his entire run in the show from the
and
two
we
episodes you
literally
watched.
have like a 5 minute death scene of, and it's actually so funny because like it's just this big emotional moment, and then you see Daryl look over and he's just like shut he's
He didn't
annoyed.
care. That's what I thought was funny too, because it's like, oh, we're supposed to like every member of a death when Tyrese went, when Beth went, when
Yeah,
like all them die, the whole group is like distraught,
distraught.
partial, like all that. Daryl's like, yo, can this guy shut up so I can like get back
Yeah,
to saving Judith, who I actually care about? It's like that should not
yeah,
really be the case when they've been together for 3 seasons. And again, these are like supersized seasons. So it's been like 65 episodes. Daryl and this guy have been sharing the same show. And he can't even like care less. It's crazy.
yeah. It's ridiculous in that sense.
But yeah.
No.
I will say, just to give some highlights, I thought the Rosita and Eugene conversation when he's talking about like next summer and everything to try and test whether or not she got bit, like to get her
Hmm.
to talk about the future. I thought that was great. I think Josh McDermott is his name, Eugene's actor. I
I
think
believe
he's
so. Yeah.
wonderful. I think he's fantastic. And so everything here with like Rosita's death and departure and how that affected him, I thought was very powerful. It makes me wish that like Rosita had been a stronger character throughout the rest of the show.
Hmm.
Um, and because again, she just sort of gets like now she's dating Sadiq and now she's dating Gabriel and now she's blah blah blah. It's like she was so cool and awesome in the very beginning, but they just didn't give her much to do outside of that. Um, but this like relationship with Rosita and Eugene, I thought was very strong, but not romantic. Like they're literally here saying like, "Oh, I love you too." They never once dated. I think never once kissed. Like Eugene obviously always was pining for Rosita, but it was like never reciprocated.
Oh,
But
interesting.
literally, her baby gets taken away by Gabriel, who's supposed to be her like boyfriend or husband. I don't know if they're married. And then it's Eugene who's like by her side as she dies, and she even
Yeah.
says like, "Oh, I'm glad
Like,
it's you." It's like the writers kind of knew. They're like, "Oh yeah, Rosita and Eugene had like the strongest connection out of everyone." It's like, so why did you have her paired off with like
yeah.
Gabriel all this time? Like, what in the
And
world are we doing?
and we see in the earlier in that season when she's helping him with like, I forget what they're doing. Something like radio calls or something to be able to
Yeah, is
communicate.
the season 9
They
episode.
have, yeah, but And another thing of what I think kind of loses the touch of the show, I would notice specifically in this series finale, you could take like stills, and I'd be like, "There's no way this is from The Walking Dead." In terms of this is post apocalyptic, like the whole like Thanksgiving dinner, pretty much, and like just that's like I, I don't know. It's just crazy how we go from the world is all run down and everything and terrible towards the relatively beginning of this apocalypse. And I understand building together and and like creating new life, but it's a little bit almost back to normal when I feel like it should be getting worse in a
Well, that's
sense.
what they're saying. That they're like, oh, we're trying to recreate the old world. It's been like 10 years in the apocalypse. You see Last of Us too, where it's like
Yeah.
at a certain point they, small enclaves are able to just hold out and like sort of within the walls create normalcy again. So that part
Yeah.
didn't bother me too much, and it was sort of the
It's just a
realization
personal
of
thing for
like
me.
the
I don't
dream
know.
of the happy dinner. So that part I thought was, okay. But
It's
the other
too
part,
clean for my liking.
it is very
But
clean.
that's
But I think
that's
that's,
just my it's my personal preference. I don't know. I'm always just like, and I don't know, the way it looked at times, like, dude, this looks like you could tell me this is like from a Hallmark Christmas movie, and I'm serious. I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's valid.
sure. Daryl and Carol, I also thought was strong. Again, it worked for me. Their little
I mean, come on, the sky is
parallel on the
blue.
bench. And then we got vintage Carol hair. She cut her hair off for that like
Yes,
last little
no
bit.
more no more Witcher hair.
But I also wonder why they didn't have a romance between like Daryl and Carol.
He
Like
does
that,
say I love you.
they say I love you, but they don't kiss or anything. And she's had other love interests. He had a love interest with that lead Reaper, I guess. I don't know where that came from, but
The
uh,
lead Reaper?
yeah, Leah. That's the one.
I
He
didn't
like
even.
chases after her and is like, "Go ahead!" Like he lets her go. And Maggie
I
had said
didn't.
before
What the
that, she said something
fuck?
about like, "Oh, your love of Leah is getting in the way." So I'm
Oh, is
like,
that what it was? Oh,
something
I did
happened
not
there.
know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought it was under. I was under the impression him and the girl that does sign
the
language,
yeah Connie, I believe it is.
Connie.
Which that would also be cool too. Like that was cute. Like he knows sign language and everything. So clearly they had their own little like Daryl Beth type
Bonding.
adventure episode.
Yeah.
So even that, like he's just never been in a romance. And I'm like, other than I guess Leah, again, they did that. But it's like, well, so if he does get into romances, why wouldn't he with Carol, who they must have like 95 trauma bonds? Like there's
Wait a
no way they
minute.
wouldn't
It just
be
clicked.
together.
I know why.
What?
Gotta save it for the spinoff, dude. Of course.
Low key though, they might be like, how far can we milk this? But at a certain point, it's like, come on, like they would be together. But anyway, they're great. Again, their chemistry, like
Hmm.
even in that season 2 episode with Sophia, like we saw it all the way back there that they have that strong bond.
Yeah.
So I love seeing them. But yeah, the whole ending, the like Tumblr edit type deal of their
Bro.
speeches and
Okay,
images
yeah.
of all the old characters. I'm like, this is annoying. But what's more annoying is again, it's the end to the show, it's a finale, and yet our main character, Rick, he's still just out there. Like there's no resolution. And what's even
Nope.
stupider is we are in the year 2025, 3 years after that had ended. There's still no resolution. We still haven't gotten the big reunion between our A-list members, Rick, Michonne, Daryl, Carol, Maggie. Like they have not all reunited.
Morgan.
And Morgan, yes, who's now also searching for Rick. By the way, so there's like 5 characters out in the world
Why
searching for Rick.
everybody is searching? Okay, is
We
that
all
okay?
want Rick,
Because
bro.
I was. That's why I was very. I'm like, wait. I didn't get an answer as to how the fuck Daryl is in France.
He's searching for Rick. They're all just searching for Rick.
He's searching for Rick. Okay, but like, how the fuck does that make him end up in France?
I have
I don't
no
get it.
idea.
Also, I'm
I
sorry,
really don't
but I
know.
couldn't help but laugh during. I love Michonne. Great. Why is she wearing this like
Dude, she
medieval
looks like
times
she's at
armor?
Wakanda, dude. Like the whole
Yeah,
thing, it's like a
I'm like,
outfit. It's so ridiculous.
what the fuck? It looks like she's about to go jousting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that too.
it
Yeah.
definitely does. The like catching, like in baseball, the catcher, the
Yeah.
mask. Like, I don't know what's going on there. Very goofy. And I will say, again, you do see that story continue in The Ones Who Live with Rick and Michonne. What I'm more mad about than anything in the main show is how they fumbled that spinoff. Because you had it. Like in real life, we had 5 or 6 years of no Rick. In story world, it's been like 8 years of no Rick. You could have done like such a compelling character study with Rick in a mini series, just focusing on him. Again, you take away all the other stuff in the world, just focus on Rick and this community that's like clearly holding him captive. Give us that. Like, you have this amazing built-in opportunity to just take him to his lowest lows where he doesn't have his family, but you're sort of like resetting him back to square one. Because remember the pilot, as great as that was, it was all just Rick trying to find his family. We can get back to that square one, but with a Rick that's been like so hardened and brutalized by the apocalypse. So like, what is he going to be willing to do to get to his family this time around? Like, there was so much potential, and they wasted it. It was so stupid and so tragic to see. Hunter, you never ended up watching it?
No, but the other day I decided to watch the final like 5 minutes of the miniseries. Yeah, because I'm like, how does this wrap up?
What
Like,
the heck?
I'm like, do they actually meet? Like, and then I'm like, the fuck, Judith is like 15. I was like, what the hell? So
Yeah, I mean, she's like,
that's
I
all. Yeah.
think, meant to be around the same age that we see her in this
No,
departure.
she's definitely older in this
Mm,
from series to The Ones Who Live.
interesting.
Definitely.
Um,
I think, I don't know. I could be wrong, but
I'm
yeah,
sure they just
that's all
used the
I've
same
seen from the.
actress, and it was like a couple years, I guess, in real life, so that
That's
makes sense.
probably what it was, but I don't know. Netflix Stranger Things type thing.
For sure. So anyway, any other thoughts on the final episode before we do our long-term overall wrap up?
Yeah.
The
No, I'm good.
explosion was pretty bad. The explosion was really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
Um,
when I was referencing CGI, that's what I was referencing.
yeah. Oh, trust me, I know.
But all right,
Yeah.
so favorite characters. Let's hear it. Of all the episodes you've seen, Edward, who you got on your list?
I got Rick. I got Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
I got Maggie. I
Yeah.
got I got I got Morgan, except for like a certain part. And look, I'm gonna go
Morgan
Negan,
in
man.
not
And
season
look,
8, though. You said
same thing
Negan?
with Negan. I'm gonna put Negan, but before, and he's not good because I like him. He's good because I hate him.
Mm,
He's
there you
entertaining.
go.
He's
I will
entertaining.
say, actually, there's one other like bright spot I wanted to point out. I think the conversation between Maggie and Negan in the finale episode was beautiful. I thought
Yes.
that was like pitch perfect, amazing. And to your point, Hunter, again, I think in the main show they did fine. The spin-off, I don't know where they're going with that relationship then, because they ended it here of she's like, I can't forgive
Yeah.
you, but I want to try. I see that you're not like the
You saved my
devil.
son.
You say my son, we've like worked together now for time, but when I look at you, I see the version of the most important person in my life bloodied, calling out for me while you're mocking him, and I just can't like remember him that way, so I can't be around you. I was like, that is so beautiful. And you see
Hmm.
Negan, he
I
apologized
agree.
earlier that episode, he's
He doesn't say a
remorseful,
word.
and he just, yeah, he like takes it, lets her say what she needs, and then he leaves like for Maggie's sake. He's like, I can't be in the community, I can't like do that to her, so he leaves. So I thought that was a beautiful ending. So however they undo that for their spin-off
Yeah.
together, Dead City,
And
certainly.
they're in New York.
Yeah, they're in New
How'd
York.
they get there?
I don't know what they do to stretch that out. I can see that being annoying, but I think within the context of the main show, I think they did a great job of like
Yes.
holding out this like Maggie's change in character because of Glenn's death. I think like they did a great job of carrying that out over the seasons and having it resolved the way it did in the finale. I was like, that's beautiful. Like that is a really, really nice way to wrap up her character. And then again, give so much credit to Glenn as a character and like how much of an impact he had on the show overall. So I thought that was great. My favorite characters, Rick, of course, number one, and my boy Glenn. I love Glenn. So he's got to be there without a doubt. Again, I think Carol has to be there because of just that change from early in the show to season 4 or 5. Carol, goated, truly goated.
Yeah.
Daryl has also got to be there. Again, there was like that stretch where in season 7 and 8 where he just wasn't a character really. He was just a background character that grunted a lot, but he's always been cool, looked cool. And then I don't know, because there's other characters, like side characters that I'm fond of. Like Ezekiel, I always just think is cool. Jerry, I think is cool. I like Aaron, especially when he hits like comic Rick mode. So yeah, those are all very, very cool. I don't know. I'd have to go between like Maggie and Negan. Negan's so entertaining, but Maggie, I do like of these like snippets we've got of her, the arc she's been on. So I might put Maggie up there.
Yeah.
I also like Eugene. I also love Abraham. Actually, Abraham is going on there. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
I always forget because he's short-lived. But Abraham's so goated. I love that guy.
Shane would be pretty close up top too for me.
Oh yeah, Shane's a great character. Yeah, just like written because he didn't overstay his welcome. All that very crucial to the show. So you're right. He might be a top dog as well. Hunter, what about you?
Very, very similar list to yours. Rick, Glenn, Daryl, Carol, and then Maggie.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. What about from like the episodes we've seen? Which is your favorite?
Too Far Gone.
I was going to
say Far Gone.
Yeah, Too Far Gone, or
that's the governor destroying the prison episode.
Yes, that's my favorite. Or Negan's episode, that one.
701. The day will come when you won't be. Yeah.
Yes.
Brutal. Brutal stuff for sure.
Oh, for a second, I thought you were talking about his backstory episode. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh no.
But,
no, the killing scene.
His introduction.
Yes, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, again, I think No Sanctuary hits like all the great spots. I still think it's a nice blend between like the groundedness and brutality of like early Walking Dead, and we get some of, like Carol single-handedly like takes down No Sanctuary, so we get some of that like fun genre cartoonishness, but then they still were tackling like the themes of survival, like how far is our group gonna be willing to go to survive, and at what point does that mean that they lose the humanity and become just like these evil cannibals and the other terrible people they've come across. So I think No Sanctuary probably is my number one, but I also love
it's valid.
The same 701. I love that one. I love the pilot, Days Gone By, I think is great. The Sophia episode is a great, like, contained episode. And then what comes after Rick's final episode, I adore that as well. So, yeah, that would be my sort of number one, and a few mentions there. What about your favorite moment? What are some of your top moments?
Ooh.
Herschel getting his head cut off.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say that, but it's so like, okay, Hunter, we get it. You love Too Far Gone, blah, 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 blah. But it was gonna be. I was gonna say Rick's speech to the governor.
Yeah,
like we could live together.
We're not too far gone.
Not too far gone.
Yeah, that
sounds good. He's got some good speeches. Should we do a Rick speech?
Rick speech.
The Rick-tatorship speech is pretty good.
No, my favorite moment was Eugene biting Dwight's dick.
Oh yeah, that's huge. Definitely huge. Rick's speech in Conquer, the season finale of season 5. I also love that.
Yep.
Just the delivery of it too. Of like, I was thinking how many people I was gonna have to kill to save your lives.
No, I like that. Yeah, that one.
And he's just completely in blood.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that one's a banger.
Again, I love that one. I levitate every time I see that ending when he just shoots the guy, and then Morgan's like, Rick, and then they look at each other. Oh, too good, too good.
No hesitation, just
Also,
turn.
moments. I talked about this in our first batch episode, but that moment in the pilot when Morgan's trying to kill his wife, and Rick is putting down that one, like, cut in half walker. I thought that was beautiful. So that's got to be huge. The moment when Rick's about to shoot the dynamite on the bridge and explode, and he's like, "I found them, his family." I thought that was great. It's a top moment for sure. Um, What else? What you guys got? Sophia's emergence from the barn.
Best acting performance is probably when Rick's wife dies and she comes out with the baby, and yeah, that was pretty insane.
And also top moment was just in general of you think Negan maybe forcing Rick to cut off Carl's arm, and just
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, that,
we've never seen Rick just completely lose
that
it.
might be
And
my
just, like,
favorite moment.
You have no
Yeah.
idea what the fuck. Like,
That was the most tense I was
man.
during the series. During
the
this
snot
run.
bubble will always remain just insane.
So true. Yeah, great acting again. Andrew Lincoln killed it that episode. In that same episode, the although I love him, Glenn, like the moment where he gets the bat coming down his head.
Yeah.
Where Negan's just like, well, back to it. Bah! Like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I
what a
still
shock.
recite that sometimes, like when I'm just like, oh, gotta get back to something. I literally say it like that.
Well, back to it. That and the no exceptions. The way Jeffrey Dean Morgan just says some lines is so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
did say no exceptions. But yeah. All right. Any other final words on The Walking Dead?
We are the ones who live.
There you go.
There you go. I can't put it better.
We are the ones who live. So, Edward, now that you've seen 16 episodes out of The Walking Dead, what are your thoughts? Are you going to continue it? Are you going to revisit it down the line? Are you going to check out the spin-offs? What you thinking?
Definitely not the latter. I'm going to take a break so I can kind of forget a lot of these things. Probably take like a couple months just to watch some other stuff, forget about it, come back, and then I will most likely finish the show. I'll probably, knowing what happens in season 10 and 11, I may stop early, but
just stop when I stop, dude. Or just stop when
because
Rick
as soon
leaves.
as it gets to the 24 episodes, I don't need to see. I'm good. I'll watch till season, what is it, 9? You stopped at 9, right, Hunter?
I stopped at the end of 8.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's.
And then Rick left like season
mid
9,
right?
Episode like 9 or 6
Yeah,
or
I think
something
so.
like that.
Yeah, that's probably where I would stop, is when Rick leaves, because that's where I think the show fell off. But yeah, I definitely want to. But the spinoffs on that case, probably not. I will probably not seek those out. Maybe for entertainment, comedic purposes. I know there's one that's like notoriously really bad, so maybe watch that one just to find out how bad it is.
Yeah, we might. I think that's World Beyond you're talking about. We might do, if you're up for it, Fear the Walking Dead, another iteration of this for that. I think that'd be funny, because that one's another like long running one, and you'd get to see Morgan again. So we'd get to check in.
I would love that.
Lenny James. But all right, Hunter, what about you? You stopped at the end of season 8. You, after Rick's episode, What Comes After, you were like, maybe I should have continued the show.
Yeah.
You now feel like maybe not. So what are you going to do? What's the verdict here?
I saw what I needed to see. The end of the Negan arc is when I stopped, and then the end of Rick's arc with him leaving. Everything else, I'm good. The show is just not for me anymore. It's not what I wanted it to be. I didn't come for some B action movie stuff. So
Mhm.
I will not be watching the rest of the seasons, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you may take it. Um,
What about the
spin-off
spin-offs?
wise, the spin-offs.
Which you watched the end of it
I
already.
saw the
That's
final.
crazy. That is
Yes.
insane.
Well,
You
because
opened the book to the last page and said, "All right."
I did because I'm like, I feel like I would need to see like part of me feels like I would have had to have watched seasons 9, 10, and 11 to maybe get more context surrounding
What do you
the.
mean? Rick is not in those seasons. You would
I
not have
know
needed
he's
more
not,
context.
but like
It's
I know
literally a
Michonne was in
separate
it.
miniseries.
I know, but I know Michonne was in it, so I was like, oh, I would need to see it to see how
Michonne is
what
not in
happened.
season.
I
She
didn't
leaves
know
in like 10,
I
but
I didn't know she left. My vote was on I think I said Maggie was who I thought left. Things
yeah, she did.
things leave.
But she came back.
And she did. But yeah. I've seen the first season of Fear the Walking Dead. I don't remember anything. It was when it
Great.
aired.
Then you can go in blind as well for that next.
That is true. Like yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna watch Dead City because I've explicitly shared my thoughts on the Negan and Maggie relationship that they
Yeah.
have. So I don't need to
Here's
get pissed off more.
here's what we need. Okay. Because like I said, we still have not finished The Walking Dead. Like there's that finale episode, but it did not at all in the story because we need Rick and everyone to reunite. Hopefully, in a year that is not 2040, they will have had a new spin-off show that brings everyone together, and then we can have just one final, extravaganza for Rick, Michonne, Maggie, Daryl, Carol, Negan, Morgan. Like, let's get the A-list back together, one adventure, and then call it quits. Because they are going to milk these spin-offs to death.
Yeah,
Daryl
I'm
Dixon is
just
going to have 4
surprised.
seasons. Dead
I
City
was
is
gonna
getting a
say,
third. Okay,
Jesus.
this is insane. It needs to stop. So
Yeah, it's literally that cow meme, where it's just dry and it's like, you know.
yeah,
And I'm just
Stop giving me
surprised
your
as
toughest
to
battles.
how much money does it still bring in?
that's what I'm
Because
saying. I don't know,
because
but
I know
it's
a
got to be a
lot of
lot.
people stopped watching the show after Glenn died. Like a lot of people stopped watching after Glenn, and then a lot of people also stopped watching when I stopped watching. How is it still like after the miniseries and 2, 3 other spinoffs? Like, who is still watching this, dude?
I don't know. I do not know. But hopefully they'll, after they stop milking it, they'll give
Yeah,
us one nice send off for everyone. Either that or
yeah,
to rejuvenate the franchise. If they did a movie, it'd have to be a solid movie, like Rick
yeah,
focused. Because people, I think, would come out for that if they're like, "Oh, Rick, we remember Rick. Let's see what he's up to."
yeah.
Um, they'd have to
We all
sort of
know
pare
damn well no
down.
one's paying for AMC Plus.
Yeah, so we'll see. But all right, that is a wrap on The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Thank you
Oh,
both. Oh,
oh my
what's up?
God!
What happened?
Completely forgot. Daryl saying we are not the Walking Dead in the series finale.
Oh yeah,
No, no,
I saw.
no.
I wrote that
I
too.
He
I I
said
I
we
rolled.
ain't The Walking Dead.
Sorry, we ain't. I rolled my eyes
We ain't The
so
Walking Dead.
hard, dude. I
I
was
said up,
like,
up, up, up,
Well,
up.
they said the show, but that's like a callback. Rick does a speech where he's like, "That's how we survive. We are The Walking Dead." So it's like a callback to that. Of he's like, which it makes no sense in that like thing where he says we ain't The Walking Dead, and Governor Milton would be like, "Who said we were? What are you talking about?"
yeah, it felt very like it's just I don't know, like he's just saying it to say it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was like, what the
it
hell?
felt out of
We
place a
are
bit for sure.
AMC. We are The Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
yeah. It literally, dude. The ending of the series finale literally felt like they in their voiceover. They're gonna be like, "We are the ones who live. We are the ones who live. Check this. Check us out. Fall 2023. Something like that. Like, they are about to just announce. Oh my lord.
Yep.
But yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you end it. Oh.
All right.
All right.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Until that eventual Walking Dead Endgame spinoff, or until Fear the Walking Dead, maybe we'll see. That is it for Walkers, for Rick Grimes, and for this podcast. Thank you, Edward and Hunter, for coming on, being part of this
Yes, thank you.
multi-part extravaganza, multiple recordings. Y'all are amazing for that. And it was fun. It was glad walking down memory lane again.
It was very fun.
Yeah. The highs and the lows.
All right, that's all the time we have. If you would like to give your thoughts on the show, you can email us at theboxofficeshowpod@gmail.com. Our main title theme for the show is Sundown by Joseph McDade. And if you like the show, please give us 5 stars on whatever podcast app you're listening to, and be sure to tune in next week. And a big thank you once again to Edward and Hunter for being the guinea pigs for this twist on an anatomy of a masterpiece. I think it turned out great. It was a lot of fun. So a big thank you to them. All right. Have a great rest of your day.